Michael Laverne is our center official. Clemson back in the final. 5 times the last 6 years. Wake looking to hoist this trophy for the first time since 2017. It's the best conference in college soccer. Who will reign supreme? We'll find out. We are underway. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff from Cary, North Carolina. Colin Thomas, pass picked off. Jerron Jabay, midfielder of the year, just kind of pinged that wide in the air. Prince Mpansa blasted out. Now, Devin, we talk about these big games all the time with nerves. This Clemson team, a lot of these guys won this championship last year, were on this field. Many of them won the national championship as well. How, if at all, does that factor? Wake has not been in this position before.
Confidence, right? You just expect that you're going to find a way to get a result, and they haven't really had to change at all throughout the course of the season of, what their standards are. Fortunately enough for Mike Noonan, that is a big tackle.
Wow, Amani Thomas. Now, Michael Laverne is going to pull it back, but Okunlola wanted it with the advantage. And because it was such a violent tackle, I think that's why they stopped it. But Mike Noonan's saying, we had the ball with numbers.
How do you not let him go here? I mean, that's a big boy tackle there. Not the cleanest of touches, and the reason he's bringing it back is it's a massive offense. Ball away, studs up the entire way. You'll break someone's leg that way.
I mean, and
credit to him who sees it coming and notice that's athletic ability. The way that he pulls out of it, not only doesn't take the tackle physically, then explodes coming the other direction. That unreal.
A wild sequence you don't see with a challenge that egregious, honestly. And for Thomas to not get even booked less than 20 seconds into this match and to take away a transitional moment, I mean, that is a huge moment within the first 30 seconds of this match. These two teams did play earlier this year, a 1-0 win for Clemson at home in historic Riggs Field back on September 20th. How, if at all, does that factor in this game, Dev?
It's such a long time ago. We discussed the journey, and while I said that the Clemson Tigers haven't changed a lot, I don't mean that in terms of their style. Their style has given them the luxury of changing in games. Ooh, that's another back
Another
tackle.
one. Kennedy goes right through Adam Lundergaard. Lundergaard saying, can we get a card here? And Kennedy, who had an amazing game in the semifinal, just went right through.
The first one over there, that one, I mean, they're very lucky that neither one of them end up on a yellow card in that situation.
Here comes Alex Meinhardt getting forward, but Kennedy had a goal and assist in the semifinal, that 5-1 win. He also, his header generated a handball in the box that gave them their 3rd goal. He had a great game, and he's fortunate not to be in the book right now to start this thing too. Lundergaard.
It's good defending.
Senior captain ushers the ball out of bounds and keeps it for the Tigers. Lundergaard's now 58 games played for the Tigers, 57 starts. They have 2 red cards in different games this year. South Carolina, questionable to say the least, and then one earned at Notre Dame. That's the last time this Clemson team has lost a match back on September 27th. They're 9-0-1 since then. Dylan Borso on the turnover. Titus Sandy Jr. on the ball. Plays it forward to Bassett Umar. Defended well by Lucas Magnason, all freshman team, number 2 in orange.
I can tell you one thing this makes me do if I'm wearing an orange jersey. I'm a little bit hesitant to go and challenge a little bit here because of the physicality from Wake Forest. It makes you question your touch, gets inside your mind. The mental games early on here for the Demon Deacons. What a run.
Oh, Cummins still going, trying to cut it back. Titus Sandy, miss-hit clearance. Bodies in the box. And Bassett Umar's going to get called for the foul as Titus Sandy was able to clear it out. Umar's down, the transfer from Dayton. Scored a goal in that UVA game, and he's in pain.
Yeah, he takes a knock across the thigh region. He's a little bit slow in the first step. He's usually much quicker than that. Great recovery, by the way. Quickly up off his feet. Titus Sandy Jr. did a good job as the ball got away from him. Knows that he copped it up centrally, and one of the biggest questions on the back line tonight was going to be, what does it look like next to Lucas Magnason and Adam Lundergaard? Again, stylistically, Illuminato, with his absence due to injury, he allows you to float a little bit more fluidly out of that 4-back and 3-back on the left side. He also gives you an extra body within the midfield. This makes it a bit more predictable in the sense that you don't see them jump from a 3 a lot. A good recovery there defensively.
Nice ball forward to Mise Yoshizawa, the transfer from Virginia Tech. Plays it to Jun, but they couldn't connect. You like the idea, it's not the execution.
Again, that's part of the change right there is Illuminato can bump up and help give you the coverage. John Jabay starts to release a little bit to this side, and that allows Rensford John to come earlier. So now he's got a little bit more ground to cover. And watch the front two that you'll get out of Yoshizawa and Musa up top. Those two can pump back and forth, give you a different profile in the 9.
Meinhardt slips. You have Romeo Okunlola is down on the near side. He's struggling to get back to his feet. This has been an eventful first 5 minutes as Okunlola, the sophomore who actually drew the penalty in the first meeting between these two teams, picks off the ball there on the press. This is helter-skelter as Prince Mpansa, the senior center back, trying to calm things down, finds the feet of Kennedy.
Good ball.
Cummins will get it stepping forward. Umar ahead, he's got Thomas to his right. He'll pull it back. Wide to Imani Thomas. And a little Cooper Flax was tripped up by Jean, and he's down in a heap. Flax, one of their co-captains, the junior from New York, from Long Island, grew up in the NYCFC Academy, had 2 goals in the semi. Michael Laverne's trying to keep this thing together. Does a card need to be issued here early because his bodies are everywhere?
Well, eventually you're going to have to step in and say, all right, I've seen enough. 6 minutes, 3 tackles, and
like he didn't mean to do it. If you watch the replay, like they just got kind of tangled up. But
well, this one's very different than the previous 2, though. The other 2, they were lining each other up from far, but quality sportsmanship there. It's also, as a player, though, on either side, but you look up and go, okay, whoa, this is going. We're ready. We're not going to ease into this. Right from the get-go, you set the level of intensity, and mentally you got to lock in a little bit quicker. Don't allow yourself to establish a rhythm. And that's for both sides, to be fair, that this game has started.
Alex Meinhardt, first team all-conference. 11 goals now on the campaign for the Estonian. Can't maintain possession. Pinged out to Borso. Got Kennedy to his right. He'll give it a strike! A freshman nearly testing Donovan early. What a start here in Kerry.
Now, this was always going to be a difficult task, though, the way that he picks it up and the 2v1 that he had in front of him. Also on the left foot as he comes back through. Didn't have the support on the outside run. As Imani Thomas just a little bit slow to release on the outside. Also very careful of how good this Clemson Tigers team can be on turnovers quickly in transition. You leave a lot of space in behind on the counter.
Alphin plays it long. Borso and Titus Sandy in battle, and he came back from an offside position. Titus Sandy, the grad student, getting his 15th start of the season on the ball as he pulls it back. He was one of those guys that played a lot in that national championship winning team last year as Yoshizawa loses his footing, and now Jose Perez is on it. Chance for a transitional moment. Can Kennedy get in behind? He kind of spins Magnason, and he'll be called for the foul. And Wake Forest head coach Bobby Muse up off his bench for the first time today. As you mentioned, has an amazing career here at Wake already. In his 10th season, he had now won 150 games. That is the most in the nation, averaging over 15 wins a year. This is his 3rd appearance in the ACC championship game. They've won the previous 2, 4-time ACC Coach of the Year. Last College Cup 2019. I know he wants to get back there, but he's got accolades up the wazoo.
I was going to say there's 2 big takeaways from all of those numbers. Number 1 is they haven't won an ACC tournament title since 2017. Although they did it in back-to-back fashion. And that one elusive thing, he doesn't have a national title. You know, it's something with everything that they've been able to compile over the years, not just within the groups, each individual season, all the Demon Deacons they've put into the professional level, they're still trying to find that second elusive start.
First time in 2007 when Jay Vidovich was at the helm. Here's Arthur Duquesne getting forward. Ball played a little bit over Yoshizawa's head. Another player. He's in for Illuminato. We mentioned Illuminato's injury, but he was the starter at that kind of left wing-back spot, left midfielder spot last year in that national championship and ACC championship winning team. Kennedy to Borso. He's looking for a ball through to Thomas, but Donovan's out there to corral it easily.
I recognize that we're only 10 minutes into this game, and understanding that certainly Mother Nature has something to do with it, as what as it was the other night in the semifinals. But Julian Kennedy really clean up top with his touches so far for Wake Forest in the 9 spot. You have a striker down that's willing to come down into the pocket. He knows that there's going to be players converging down into the space. He gets clean touches like that. That immediately, enables him to release other players that are around him. One of the biggest assets that Wake Forest brings to this field of play is when he drops numbers, options, and the ability to explode coming the other way.
You mentioned Mother Nature. If you didn't tune in the other day, we were in a monsoon. I shouldn't say we were protected. All the guys on the pitch out there were in a monsoon for about 9 hours. So it was rainy, it was wet, Wake prevailed. And to your point, still looks pretty clean on the ball despite that. And Clemson's played their last 3 games in just terrible conditions, but today they get sunshine with the championship on the line. Thomas pressed by Okunlola. Okunlola rides him out of bounds, and it'll go with Clemson Tigers, and they quickly get it back in play. Rancer Gian, freshman of the year in the conference, is dispossessed. Squeezed out. Now Wake has some numbers forward here. Good ball to Umar, out to Thomas, Collin that is. Bo Cummins busting it ahead of him. He'll play Bo. Read well by Lundergaard to get over to defend. Crowded out nicely by Duquesne. Travis Smith Jr. now at center back. Usually they're left back. What kind of change is that? I know that's the position you played at most regularly at center back. How hard is it to make that shift?
Well, the good thing for Travis Smith Jr. is he is a center back by nature, right? Out of necessity this year, because of all the injuries that they picked up, he had to move to the outside back position.
Abu Musa on this turnover, but go ahead.
So while the tendency is certainly positional understanding of, okay, I'm on the left side, the line, how do I utilize that? Where are my pivot points coming from, and how do I help press? He's very familiar. This is a young man that came over from the Kentucky area. It's a Lou City Academy player.
Borso might get on this and then run down by Titus Sandy.
And his whole upbringing was built on that back line, so he's going to feel very familiar next to Prince Mpansa this afternoon.
And Mpansa's familiar with that spot. He's now in his 86th game for the Demon Deacons. Just absolutely marshaling that back line along with Imani Thomas back there. But Mpansa's had a phenomenal career. 3rd-team All-ACC last year. I think, and I think you might agree, the biggest omission of the ACC awards this year. He's not on any team, which is shocking to say the least. As Kennedy tries to turn, floats it back post.
I don't think it's hard to make the case for him to possibly even be on the first team.
Yeah.
Yet alone the fact that not a nod for any of them. Love the conversation behind the scenes of, it's not about me, right? It's about this team and so much of these young men that have been through ups and downs over the course of this year. You take a guy like Prince Mpansa, who has seen so much from a team perspective, but always hot out the gate. That's this Wake Forest team. I loved Bobby Moose acknowledging that, and actually Mike Noonan said that he brought it up to Bobby Moose when they beat them earlier this season in Clemson, and Wake Forest is always right out of the gate, right? 9 games unbeaten, 1 loss in 14, and you're always going to have a target on your back there. But Mike Noonan turned and said, you know what? This might be better for you. The ability to mature a little bit differently and then have teams that you can go chase at the tail end of things. They've certainly done that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They are 1 loss in their last now 12 matches for the Demon Deacons. Duquesne plays it up to Okunlola, excuse me, Gervais. Gervais, the midfield of the year in the conference again. Back to Meinhardt. Up to Yoshizawa, onside. He can track it down, he can. Gervais. Lundergaard. Sandy Jr. on it. Jun. First times of extended possession for the Tigers. Really for either team. This has been very up and down. Yoshizawa back to Jean. He is so deadly. Leaves it out wide to Okunlola. Makes him run a bit wide. He's able to get there and skip it forward. Finds Musa. And now they are going to pull it back for the foul on Gervais.
These are the moments that I was talking about, though, right? How much better they are when the game slows down, when they're compacted to a 30 or 40-yard stretch in their opponent's defensive third of utilization of numbers, moving side to side and create options. It's very similar to what you get out of a Wake Forest team, right? You know, this team no longer needs 3 or 4 players going 100 miles an hour. They're very comfortable on the ball. The way that they're able to quickly pivot. side of the pitch to the other. Much more patient in 2024, which is scary, considering that 2018 team, I think they did okay for themselves.
23 won the division, won the ACC, and also won the national championship for the Tigers. Jun stands over it, as does Yoshizawa. Jun, the freshman of the year, two-time high school player of the year nationally. That's never been done before. Yoshizawa now in the overlap, unmarked. They're not going to play him. Flip it in, Jabay is there! Put right into the hands of Alphin. Oof.
It's a very good ball by Rance Farjan, and Farjan does everything right. Just the way that he has to go and attack this, it's a bit of an angle. And as you see, he's track backing just over that left shoulder. Doesn't get enough momentum on it. Certainly not as much as he would have liked, and perfect positioning by Trace Alphin in goal.
Well, Meinhardt's pass kind of pulled Duquesne back, and he lost his footing. There's Duquesne getting that start in Illuminato's stead, the sophomore from Amiens, France. Great freshman campaign. Driven forward to Borso. Borso does well. Plays it short to Kennedy. I think Kennedy wanted it long. Kennedy, the senior from Orlando, playing his 69th game for the Deeks. Only his 12th start. He's really started to solidify that starting position the last month of the season. Magnason called for the foul. Cooper Flax sees the ball to Colin Thomas over the top. A little too much on it. Donovan sends his guys long for the goal kick. Well done, won by the Deeks. Kennedy on it. A lot of orange jerseys around him. Ponce over to Thomas. Magnason wins the battle, can't keep it in play.
They're doing a really good job, Clemson, of getting pressure on both outside backs for Wake Forest. They want to try and release Amani Thomas and Bo Cummins a little bit higher. So they go direct. If you come into Julian Kennedy's feet, he's in a lot of 2 and 3v1s. And if you come to either Thomas or Borso on this front line, a lot of back to goal, not really having a ton of support. That's just the amount of pressure that Clemson are applying when the ball moves to the outside. Very well done.
Borso, again, driving it tight to Sandy on that right foot. He can hit it. Leaves it for Umar. He can definitely hit it. Keeps it wide to Flax. Flax looking back post. Too much. Women's basketball highlights our ESPN schedule this afternoon. Number 13, NC State squares off against TCU, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Then we'll have the 24th annual WNBA draft lottery from Bristol, Connecticut. First and foremost, NC State coming off a Final Four team last year. That's their first other high major opponent against TCU, so that's going to be a great game. And then for the draft lottery, the LA Sparks, the Dallas Wings, Chicago Sky, and Washington Mystics are all qualified for that. They will be vying for that top pick in next year's draft. Kennedy and Magnason kind of battling all over the field. No call there.
I thought he got away with one there. Julian Kennedy came down in. Again, really good pressure, though. You know, one of the things that it does down is when numbers don't come for Wake, if you're sitting on that back line, it's not an easy job marking Julian Kennedy.
Yeah.
But you don't have that secondary pop level coming through, so you're getting a lot of one-on-ones. It makes it easier in man-marking situations as opposed to having to pass guys side to side and account for other options.
Meinhardt now trying to, once they cut it back on that right, he'll earn their first corner of the match. He really got freed up by a great touch by Yoshizawa. There's Meinhardt, first team all-league player from Estonia. Really hit his stride during the NCAA tournament last year, was part of the all-tournament team when they made that run to the championship. help them hoist that trophy. This is their first corner of the match, as I mentioned. They are first in Division I with just over 7.3 corners per match. Jian to take this. He's got Yoshizawa short. Jian with the outswinger, headed down, and it's on back post. It's Magnason, the freshman. What a big moment for his second goal. Scored early in the Stanford game, early in the year. Here, helps him maybe hoist the trophy.
Certainly a dangerous ball thrown in, just didn't get the secondary mark as it made its way to the back post. Transfer Jian on the outswinger. What a move that is by Adam Lundegaard. This isn't just a redirect. He's going after Trace Alphin. Great job attacking that near post run. Angle near impossible. But good things happen. Just continue to follow the ball, follow your mark, follow the lead. And Lucas Magnason, the way that he peels off on the backside, just excellent in the moment to give himself an opportunity.
The freshman from Reykjavik, Iceland, part of the all-freshman team here in the conference this year. And as Mike Noonan told us earlier in the year, they got a pretty good pipeline of Icelandic players to the ACC overall, but he was able to dip into that pipeline and get Magnason, a guy that was training at a professional level there, basically playing for the New York Yankees of the professional league there. To get him to choose to come to Clemson and ply his trade here has been impressive.
And again, it's a good ball. It's not great, it's good because it forces the back line to adjust itself. As you stretch yourself, it opens up space. That's on Adam Lundegaard to me. Magnason is going to be credited with the goal on the back post here, but the way that Adam Lundegaard, quick little step attacking that near post, and then on such a tight angle, the ability to not just redirect across the box itself down, but actually get it on Trace Alphin, make him make a decision, coughs it up to the back post, and the lead for the Tigers.
All right, let's see how Wake responds now. This has become, unfortunately, part of their season. They are now conceded first in 12 games this year. Now, those previous 11, they won 4 outright. They drew 4. They only lost 3. They know how to come back. They've done it twice in this tournament alone to come back against SMU and Syracuse to keep advancing. Borso on it. It's got Flax in space. Out to Thomas. Umar. Out to Amani Thomas. Borso. What do you want to see him do there?
Well, that's exactly what Bobby Muse wanted. He just wanted him to release it. Good patience by Dylan Borso to slow things down. One of the biggest progressions that he's made this year is not overstepping unnecessarily, so he slows it down. You move it back in. As you come out, I want to see Amani Thomas go and attack that space. As he goes with it, it's a positive first touch. You're going to make someone off the back line, Remy Okunlola like this, or one of the midfielders pinch over to open up like that.
Borso's on it. Driving into the middle, got it on his right foot, deflects back. Kennedy was almost there in the back post. Able to play it up now to Meinhardt. This team is deadly in transition. Meinhardt riding the challenge from Cummins. Leave it for Jabay. Nice job by Jabay. Just loses Perez in the middle. Jian can't connect with Sandy. Zigby thought he was going to zag. And Flax, but Zigby thought he was going to zag. Quick refstart, threw it away. Okunlola's taken out by Smith Jr. And they're playing advantage, like LeBron says. Yoshizawa working on Amani Thomas. Low ball driven in. Cleared by Colin Thomas.
I want to go back to that Wake chance a second ago, Talon. Again, we talked about releasing Amani Thomas up high. This is what I was referencing. You make the right side of the Clemson Tigers make a decision as Okunlola comes high. That means that you don't allow enough space for Titus Sandy to get out there quick enough. It's wide open for Wake Forest. Well done by the ball movement, and that's just quick decision making. Again, the numbers are there. If you play it quick enough, you're gonna force this back line to make a decision. It's one of the better sequences we've seen so far from them.
Jun to take the second corner. Of course, that's how they scored their first goal if you're just joining us a few minutes ago. In-swinging ball. Locked down. There's an appeal for handball, which is reviewable. Michael Laverne's not really even entertaining it. Arthur Duquesne at the Jun. That's for charging in. Plays it in. Headed out by Perez. A couple Frenchmen getting crossed up there, Duquesne and Jabé, but they came down with the ball. Okunlola, pass not clean. Look at Okunlola tracking back. John battling against Amani Thomas and draws the foul.
I'm gonna tell you, Dallin, in the moment, I didn't think there was any issue whatsoever. This is a lot closer, though, on Colin Thomas.
Ooh.
I gotta tell you, that hand was a lot further away from his body than we initially anticipated. I'm surprised that, given the circumstances, the clear view that the linesman should have had, that they didn't at least go and try and take a look at this.
Again, that's part of video review this year in college soccer. You can review for potential penalty instances. Michael Laverne really just waved it right off and didn't think he gave it a second thought, despite some appeals from Clemson. Wake may have gotten away with one right there. Nice step by Lundergaard. Captain strides forward, hits Duquesne on the left.
There's such good movement up top in the 9 position right now. Yoshizawa and Musa trading blows back and forth again. Musa's the one who wants to stretch you. He's going to make you feel uncomfortable if you're on Ponce because of how quickly he can provide depth to the team. But then Yoshizawa is the one who then drops down into the pocket. Again, very different looks from the two of them, but really challenging this left side of the back line for Wake Forest because of how many different times they're switching back and forth.
Good step there by Magnason, creates a turnover to Okunlola. Got Musa ahead of him. Musa may have stumbled straight offside there. Mark maintains possession for the Deeks. I mentioned the 9 position there already in their first sub of the match. Their number 9, Tyler Trimnell, checks in for Yoshizawa, the forward from Lancaster. And then you got Antonio Illuminato. He did pick up the injury in the first game. Picked up the injury in the first game of the tournament. Excuse me, in the semifinal. And we were wondering how effective he could be, how much he could go. Well, he is getting in the first half. The transfer from Drexel, first team all Colonial Athletic Association last year. So he replaces Duquesne. Now here's a chance. Musa back to Trimble just in the game. Leaves it for Meinhardt. What a save by Alphin. Back to Jabé. The danger is not averted yet. Okunlola floats it. Might fall to Meinhardt again. Kind of toe pokes it wide.
Oh, we told you earlier why Trace Alphin could be one of the best goalkeepers in the ACC. A lot of people felt that he should have been on that list. This is for good reason why. I mean, just notice how he slows down at the tail end of this. Initially, he comes quick. That forces the decision by Alex Meinhardt. Probably had a bit more time there. But Alphin comes quick, squares his shoulders up, and then that trailing leg. Perfect technique by the goalkeeper.
If you are a Tiger fan, you maybe not able to pick a better guy. Now Trimble trying to get it wide. He's clipped, no call. A better guy to be 1v1. Meinhardt scored 7 goals in the last 7 games as Trimble remains down on the pitch. 11 goals on the season, but a big save by Alphin. Trimble back up to his feet and limping back onside. Meinhardt can't control. Meinhardt, very decorated player to say the least. As we mentioned, first team all-league this year, but he transferred from Tulsa 2 seasons ago where he was twice the American Conference Offensive Player of the Year. First time in that league, multiple, first team all-league player multiple times. And now he's doing the same thing here in the ACC. He's got 47 career goals in college. Here's Jun. He's in a good ball. Trimble can't quite get on that. And Borso goes down. They'll give him the call. A couple subs here. You got a couple subs here for Wake comes in the game. Nico Rabiu, 7 comes in the game to take out Thomas. And Jeffrey White comes in as well to take out Dylan Borso. And Ryan Bilal goes up top to replace Julian Kennedy. Bilal had a huge goal in that game against SMU. Gave them the equalizer. They went on to win in penalties in the quarterfinals of this tournament. Turned over again. This is going to be dangerous here. Lionheart, heavy touch, but gets back to him. Trying to combine with Trimble, he can't. And Ponce, body's again down, no call, and now Michael Laverne will say it was all in Clemson. Thoughts?
It's interesting when we put it that way. Some of the decisions or lack thereof that are flying around right now. I like the back and forth between the two coaches, though, as you bring Tyler Trimble in. You know, traditionally, you'll see him play much higher than you would a Yoshizawa. We just talked about his pocket presence, but as he goes, it allows Musa to come up more, and that then forces the outside backs more. Well, what does Bobby Muse do? He says, okay, I'll bring Jeff White in. I'll take fresh legs in general, a new target up top in the 9, but defensively, he's expecting his engine to track a little bit deeper because he's got a lot more ground to cover. He's got more speed than Dylan Borso. That's that adjustment.
And Musa, 7, pressing the ball now, had an outstanding semifinal. The freshman's had a great year all around, all freshman team in this conference. But had 2 assists and was just wreaking havoc on Cal's back line, especially the first half. Jian still had it, but couldn't keep it. He could produce some magic. We saw it in that semifinal. The game-winning goal he had was truly something of beauty.
And Musa drives me nuts. It makes me feel bad about myself because everything is so effortless.
The
way that he runs. There's never a first step. There's never an explosion. He's either standing or he's going 100 miles an hour. You never catch anything in between.
Wake is really struggling to possess the ball here. Is this a lack of patience thing, or is just Clemson doing a great job pressing them?
Field position-wise, they've moved themselves up high. They've been cleaner on the ball. I would say that I still go back to, although it's not an attacking chance, their ability to move side to side faster. And they've slowed down some of their decision-making. And so what it's allowing the Tigers to do is just put more presence on every single player that's on the ball. They don't have time. They don't have options. Right now, as you watch them step off, where are the numbers coming from, right? So that run's got to be quicker from the substitute Jeff White. Instead, it's too delayed. So you force Bassett Umar to hold it up.
Yeah.
Clemson converges, and then that's basically been wash, rinse, repeat over the last 10 minutes.
We're able to get this one out wide to Cummins. Flax looking for help. Back to Mpansa. Well, battling with Magnason, the goal scorer. Freshman Magnason wins. Okanola just dispossessed. Outworked by Monty Thomas. Now Jeff White trying to create something. Good step by Lundergaard. He goes down. I imagine at some point we may hit a card. I think this is it. Bassett Umar, first one in the book after many physical challenges in this game.
Yeah, there's some coaching going on the sideline right now because Bobby Muse, again, he got the look that he wanted. They just didn't release it quick enough. And that was the message here to Jeff White. Play it now, play it now. You wait too long. And then a great job coming off the back line once again by both Lucas Magnason and the tackle by Adam Lundegaard.
And Umar in the book. Now, we did just check in. Liam O'Gara making his second appearance on the season. He was part of the all-freshman team last year. And you see him now. He had a knee injury in the spring. He's back to full health. He got some minutes in the last game, 24 minutes in that win over UVA. And from talking to Bobby, he was very clear, like, hey, them being up was a great game for him to get into, get his feet wet again, get comfortable. Because physically and structurally, his knee is good. It's mentally, where is he? So he's now coming in to play a center back spot. Normally a deep-lying midfielder. What do you make of the change to take Amani Thomas out, put Travis Smith back to his normal position, and how they've kind of reconfigured?
But to me, it's about understanding space and time. And one of the things that we've addressed is the way that Clemson are attacking these center spots, all of the rotation up top. It's Musa. We saw Yoshizawa earlier. The addition of Antonio Illuminato certainly comes into that extra body. You need a player who recognizes left and right a little bit more fluidly. And that's what that change is about. It also allows, to be fair, some physical dominance on this left side that you can get when you bring Travis Smith outside. Moments like this, he's really good at taking that first touch. And if it turns over, he gets right up next to his mark.
Got White. White trying to float it into the box, blocked by Magnason. Magnason and White locked up, well defended. Trimble can't bring it down. Agara's first touch. Sophomore for Winston-Salem. He's a local product, local kid, playing for Wake Forest. Back to Agara. And Ponsa. Oh, that's a poor pass. Trimnall's not going to need some space here. He's got Musa to his right. Oh, well read, though, by Prince to pick that off because Musa would have been in. Bilal. Working on Magnason. They release Rabiu. It does. He's able to get on it.
He's very good.
Lucas Magnus is all over this field.
You know, it's no surprise to me, but people at home, that's a freshman right there, a true freshman coming in who is just, he's so active on this back line. The responsibility that Mike Noonan tasks him with, and it's ground coverage, it's one-on-one situations, well read over there. That explosion of speed slows down and wins it.
White flag stays down, and here's Lundergaard coming over to make maybe a goal-saving tackle. And you've got, no, Magnuson's down in the middle of the box now. That's not what you want to see. He's holding his lower leg. Shot! Donovan asked quite a bit right there. As that thing was knuckling, and from our angle, you don't know what was going to happen. Magnason, we're going to check and see what happened to him. He's struggling.
I'll go back to the strike. I was with you. I thought this had pay dirt in the upper 90. Backside, a little touch back in. Again, you want him to make that decision just a half-second sooner. It doesn't allow Adam Lundergaard to slide over and get a touch on it, and you're clean on goal.
It was a wicked deflection, though. It almost ended up being not.
I thought it was in.
Clemson, yeah, because our angle, we are right behind that ball, and I'm like, is he going to be able to cover this? So Magnuson is back up to his feet. He will get some treatment. Wake Forest all coming to the sideline to get water, not necessarily instruction from the coaching staff. It is, mid-60s and nothing but sunshine here today. And Magnuson's actually being helped off a little bit. We'll see how he does, but being kind of ushered off. So he's actually going right up the tunnel. That is not what you want to see. We just were praising him. He's the goal scorer in this match, but the central defender has been outstanding all over the back line. So he goes right up the tunnel. We'll see how Mike Noonan adjusts here.
There's 3 up on
and what decision he makes in terms of subbing for Magnason. Now, college soccer substitution rules are different this year. You get 6 windows to sub. If you leave in the first half, you still can come back in the second. So it's not necessarily Magnuson's day is over, but that indication is not great when he walks right up the tunnel. And you're going to have Mason Lamb check in, the senior, transfer from Cal State Fullerton, making his only 10th appearance on the year. He was second team All Big West, had great success out there, but this is a big moment to step into.
Well, the question for me is to whether or not Clemson we're going to try and switch into a little bit more of a fluid 4. I would imagine that that's probably what's going to happen here. You release Titus Sandy a little bit wider. Again, Antonio Illuminato on the backside can drop in. There wasn't a ton in it. It didn't seem like in the moment we went back and tracked it. And again, he just, as he continues this run, he starts to limp a tad at the end of it, but there was no other contact after the fact. And those are the scary ones, right?
Yeah.
That leave you wondering as to exactly what he felt in the moment.
And we wish the best for him. And now we play on here. Donovan's off his line with just over 10 minutes to go. A little break in the action. Tell you about Monday Night Football. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were there a couple days ago, but I digress. Week 11 Monday Night Football matchup. Lone Star State game. C.J. Stroud, the Texans. C.D. Lamb and the Cowboys. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN Deportes. And, of course, you can get Peyton and Eli again on ESPN2. They'll be joined by Bill Belichick and J.J. Watt. Star-studded lineup there on Monday Night Football. Jabay picks it off and is fouled promptly. Just under 10 minutes here in the ACC Men's Soccer Championship Final from Cary, North Carolina. Beautiful day here, 65 degrees. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff. It has been quite a breathless first 35. We do have a 1-0 scoreline through Lucas Magnason's goal in the 20th minute. He has since left the game with injury. There's been a lot to see here and take in. What do you make of the game so far?
I'm very surprised at how untidy Wake Forest have been on the ball. They're so good at that. That's their MO, right? They put the ball on the deck. They really force you to chase side to side. They allow themselves to establish rhythm. That started because of intensity in the opening 10 minutes, but the recovery since then by Clemson to continue to push them away from that narrative. So it's tight marking. They're winning their individual battles, and as they push themselves up high, there's just an energy from this team to go and chase and win every single ball, every single tackle that you're just not getting out of Wake Forest. They don't have the options. It's slow. Clemson's doing a great job defensively. The moments are there for Wake. They're just not taking advantage of it.
Mike Noonan talks about the energy for our team has to be there, but it's not just physical energy. He says the mental energy. Just know the trigger, so know when to go, and to keep playing as one, connected with each other with and without the ball. It sure seems like they're doing that right now in the last 25 minutes. Good pocket of space by White. Picked up. Out to Cummins. Rabiu floats it just over the head of Bilal. Musa can't win the battle. Perez does well to dink it over to Travis Smith Jr. Travis Smith in a lot of space. Takes the space. Finds Umar. Umar White kind of get crossed up, but he does come out with the ball. Well defended by Lundergaard. Gets it out to Musa.
We've obviously lost Magnason, at least for the time being, but both he and Adam Lundergaard have had incredible first halves on that back line for Clemson.
Lundergaard is the rock of this team, and Mike Noonan will always say that again. Captain, started now 58 games for them. He does everything for them emotionally, on the field, off the field. So much of the stuff he does in the locker room carries forward to the games, and his performance today has been exceptional, as you mentioned. Back to Alphin. Picked up by Umar, under 7 minutes to play in the first half.
Well read. He's in.
He's got a number. He's got Rabiu. He's in on the touch. Can he finish? Yes! 1-1! The Deeks opened him up. And the sophomore capitalizes his first career goal.
This is clean as you get if you're Bobby Muse in Wake Forest. The long ball off of Trace Alphin, perfectly brought down on the far side of the field. And then what do we ask for? We want side to side, you want numbers, but you want to have that vertical threat. This ball right here is undercut. What a read that is from Jeff White to come back to the inside of his defender, get that first touch. It forces the back line to shift to the near side. Then all of a sudden, Lundergaard comes a little bit too high, can't get back quick enough. Nico Rabiu, the way that he reads this, the touch in front of him, forces the goalkeeper to shift left, space on the right, back to square one. Incredible goal by Wake Forest.
Just an absolute beauty. And what a finish by Rabiu, the sophomore from Schenectady, New York, grew up in the New York Red Bulls Academy. Injured all of last year, redshirted that year, but had an opportunity. And man, he made the most of that and just finished past Donovan.
And I know this isn't going to pop up on the stat sheet. He's certainly not going to get an assist. But that was an unreal ball by Trace Alphin.
Yeah.
That's 40 yards in the air, right on the money for a guy that has grown so much with the ball at his feet over his career here at Wake Forest. What a response.
And we have a couple subs for this Clemson team. Mason Jimenez comes in for Ransford Gion in the middle of the park. So you got a sophomore from San Diego. And you got James Kelly also came in the game, replacing Wahabu Musa. Up top, junior from Gastonia, North Carolina, attacker. There's Kelly. And Meinhardt fouled. Great crowd here on hand. Great crowd here on hand at Cary, North Carolina. Again, beautiful day, mid-60s, perfect day for soccer here in the ACC Men's Soccer Championship. Cary, North Carolina will be the home of the College Cup as well next month. We have both the semifinals and the finals here, and this has been a heck of a spectacle for those fans watching here and at home right now.
Any chance we can put in a request with the powers that be for this type of weather in about a month? That
would be nothing better. I wish I could control that. That would be nice. There's Mason Jimenez, a sophomore that just checked in. That's a heck of an outfit right there by the Tiger fan. He's got to be hot. He's got to be hot right now. You're questioning that? I would like to see you in that, though. You look great.
How do you know I don't have one at home?
You probably do. Dinked over the top. Alpha off his line.
Oh.
Spills it. It's still loose. They play into the corner. Oh, just wide. And Trimnell's saying, why did you not pass it to me? I was right in the middle of the pitch.
I wonder if Trace Alphin hit his head here. And it's not often that you see him come off his line like this and spill a ball. It felt like in the moment it was the right decision for the goalkeeper from Wake Forest. When we talk about the verticality of the Clemson Tigers, just super clean on the ball, and as it's popped through, he does hesitate just at the tail end of it, and right there. Jimenez with his foot back out. They've created contact on Trace Alphin's head. Watch when he goes to ground.
Ooh,
oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a much better look at it. Good though, he's quickly back up and moving, no issues.
Second team All-ACC keeper, and you saw with his play with his feet how he helped create the goal. Why many thought he probably should be been the first team All-ACC keeper, the goalkeeper of the year. He's not. Out wide to Travis Smith Jr. Low ball played in. Cleared out by Jimenez. Trimnell carrying it forward. Oh, goes off Trimnell's leg, I believe. Oh no, they're saying ball went out prior to that. It'll be Clemson. The swings in this half have been interesting. I feel like Wake was maybe in the ascendancy, and Clemson had a ton of momentum. Now we're back to the Deeks.
It's hard to establish a rhythm for anyone, right? A lot of times we'll see throughout matches where it's, all right, maybe it's 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, even like 5 or 7 minute stretches to undercut it.
Yeah.
They're not interested in that today.
No, absolutely not. And I'm here for it. Mason Jimenez to play it in. As now a couple of the center backs trot forward. Clemson did score off a set piece, a corner kick in the 20th minute. Now Magnason is back on the bench. The goal scorer, the center back that left with injury. Jimenez now serve the box. Whipped in, headed down by Gibet, popping around, and Ponce clears. Ruminato, back to Kelly. Meinhardt and Kelly trying to combine. All read by Bo Cummins. That may be a bad turnover and a bad moment. Okunlola, he gets taken down. Nope, they're going to play on. Ball played into the box. Kelly just over Alphin's hand. He did get a touch on it, though. Big save.
It's not a risky ball coming off the back line. It's just not clean. It comes too much to the interior. Well done by Remy Okenlow. A little bit surprised they didn't blow it there, but as the ball comes back across, look at Alphin again. If you're Kelly, you do a really good job of just getting an actual touch on it. Look at him adjust mid-air, coming off the right, can't do it. Opens his hips off the left knee. And then the goalkeeper, better safe than sorry at the tail end of things.
Jimenez, not the best service, it's low. Might fall through to Illuminato, it does. Right to play it back in the mixer. Flax deflected, and Flax wins the race. And he gets crowded out. And with the break in action here, I'll tell you about Tuesday. We'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the guys break them down from top to bottom, have coaches' reactions, as well as live interview with committee chair Ward Manuel, the Michigan athletic director. They'll project the 12-team field. That's 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Oregon hanging on against Wisconsin was huge yesterday. Clemson prevailing over Pitt was big. SMU remains 6-0, so a lot to talk about Tuesday with the rankings as Trimble does keep it in.
Good tackle.
Travis Smith does well, wins the ball. We're under 60 seconds left.
Again, just look at the repress from Clemson. Immediately back into it.
Low cross, deflected out. Flax takes it long. Tight as Sandy as we tick down to 30 seconds left. Out to Okenlola. Has to get a cross off, does not. Trimble does dig out a cross. 15 seconds left, Meinhardt on it. Here's for Jabay. Oh, this might fall to Illuminato. It does, pokes it. But actually will just be deflected out harmlessly. And what a first half. We end up deadlocked after 45.
I'm gonna need a water break. That was beautiful display, first of all, by both teams, right? You had the swings that you saw the energy right out of the gate by the Demon Deacons. You had to adjust defensively by Clemson. They did that. They reestablished themselves up high. They gave you looks in a variety of ways on the attacking front. And then just the singularity that was the beautiful ball movement off the back line for Wake Forest to grab the equalizer. That was fun. It's one of those things you walk away from the first half and go, that was just fun for both teams, high level.
High level, entertaining. Love to take 45 more minutes of that. We'll find out. We'll get that shortly as we head to halftime. Before we get there, though, we're joined by Clemson head coach Mike Noonan. Coach, we were discussing it was an entertaining half for the neutral, to say the least. How did you take in the first 45 for the Tigers?
Yeah, it was a well-played half. I think both teams had the ebbs and flows in the half, and obviously the score's tied. So.
Coach Adam Lundegaard, Magnason, the whole back line, very good. We saw Magnason go down. Any update on his status? We know how integral he is to that defensive unit.
I don't know, really. I'll find out when I go inside.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Magnason, again, has the goal, and he came back out to the sidelines. He walked back up into the locker room. We'll keep an eye on that, try to figure out what's going on there. That is the goal by Magnason that gave them the 1-0 lead, but back came Nico Rabiu to make it 1-1. We're going to break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the commish. Jim Phillips joins us to talk about the state of ACC soccer and a little broader college sports. Next.
There's a place where dreams meet determination, and every challenge is an opportunity for success. The ACC isn't just a conference, it's a way of life, where every victory is earned, and every achievement forges our legacy. Together, we will show the world what we're made of,
It is just incredible.
and define greatness for generations to come. We are the ACC. Accomplish greatness.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa. Vamos.
Hay comida en la casa. ¿Tienes hambre?
Mazda.
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 The Mazda CX-5. It's made to move you.
The new Mazda CX-5, only $319 a month at Keffer Mazda.
We all need fiber for our digestive health, but less than 10% of us get enough each day. Good thing Metamucil gummies are an easy way to get prebiotic plant-based fiber with the same amount of fiber as 2 cups of broccoli. Metamucil gummies, the easy way to get your daily fiber.
Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
Burberry Hero, the new parfum.
Work out and perk out with the Planet Fitness Black Card. Join today for $1 down, $29.99 a month.
Walmart Black Friday deals are live. It's time to shop. Get this 50-inch Hisense TV for $138. This Fisher-Price toddler toy for just $5. And so many more deals you desire. Shop Walmart Black Friday deals now through the 17th.
Welcome back to Wake Men's Soccer Park here in Cary, North Carolina. 1-1. Halftime of the ACC Men's Soccer Championship between the 2-seed Clemson Tigers, the defending champs, and Wake Forest, the 5-seed. It has been an entertaining first 45, to say the least. All right, great to be with you, everybody. Welcome into the booth here. We've got Devin Kerr. I'm Dallin Cuff. We're joined by Jim Phillips. We're making sure you can hear me right now. Can you hear me, Commish? You good to go?
I can hear you.
All right, good. The Commission's got me. We're good to go. Let's start here. One of the storylines of this tournament was Cal. They were the 11 seed. They made a great run the last couple weeks of the season. They won 4 games over top 16 RPI teams on the road, but they're not eligible for the tournament because they're 1 game under 500. With the expansion of all these different conferences and everything kind of moving around, is that rule a rule that you think should be maintained going forward in men's soccer?
It's really a good question, Dallin. And I think that particular rule needs to be looked at as we go through a restructuring and a reset of college sports. In the past, conferences have been 8, 10, 12 or so. We're now at 16 or 18 teams. At the end of the day, the best teams deserve an opportunity to play for a national championship. And so in this particular case, the rule is the rule right now. Cal hurt itself also by playing a Division II school, so that was a win that got taken away. But it needs to be looked at. I'm really going to try to push for that. I think others, as conference leaders, are going to do the same because we have a completely different landscape as it relates to number of teams in conferences.
You talked about restructuring in men's college soccer, 15 teams now within the conference overall. 3 new squads added this season. One of the biggest things that I hear from coaches is how they're going to balance the interconference schedule and how difficult it is to judge everybody's body of work because you don't get to play everybody. So what's the conversation been like behind the scenes on what you've seen this year and maybe how it affects the structure moving forward?
Well, we've been a conference that's had 12 soccer on the men's side playing schools. We went to 15 with the addition of Cal, Stanford, and SMU. I think 71 or 72 is the lowest ranked RPI team that we have right now. All of those teams deserve a chance to play in the ACC Conference Championship. You have a chance to play your way into the tournament or pad your resume. So I think we like the number itself. As it relates to who plays who, I think you're going to have to wait 2 or 3 or 4 years before we cycle through where everybody gets a team at home and on the road. We got to figure out the West Coast trip as well as Dallas, a little bit better. I think we'll take a lot of input from the student athletes and the coaches after the season. But I'm super proud. I mean, we have 9 teams I know that will be in the tournament. I hope that Virginia Tech and Notre Dame will get a look, and maybe we can get 10 or 11. But this is the premier soccer conference in the country.
It's funny, Commissioner, you mentioned the 15 teams. I may have been one to be like, wow, all 15 are going to make it. But Cal clearly proved why that is the right thing to do, especially in this league. Bigger picture question for you. Obviously, there's so many changes going on in college sports. And the House case and the settlement, there'll be payments by the Power Four. We'll figure out how much money that is, and that goes how that gets divided school by school. But from a league perspective, how do you see potentially Olympic sports being affected by the school's actually now funding players as being dictated by a lawsuit, essentially.
Well, I'm excited about it because what we've done is we've had some handcuffs on the number of scholarships, and you've seen with where we believe the case will go. Now Judge Wilkins has to approve it on April the 7th, but we're working towards the settlement with the plaintiffs. So I think there's some additional resources that are going to go to student athletes for certain as it relates to scholarships. The 22% of revenue, which equates to about $20.5 million, the schools will decide where those dollars go. What sports, the gender piece of it, male, female. There's still a lot of work left there, but I don't look at it as, hey, this is an opportunity now where we're going to, defund or de-escalate the commitment to women's sports. Especially this conference in general, we're proud of having 15 women's sports and 13 men's sports and being a premier conference that really values women's sports and Olympic sports. We've won more championships than anyone has the last 3 years, 23 national championships. So we are doubling down as we go into this kind of reset and new governance structure of college sports. Proud of where the ACC is, and we want to continue to fund more wherever we can, but payment to players is a good thing, and we just have to work out a lot of the details of it.
Commissioner, we appreciate your time as always. This is a wild first 45 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the second 45 as well. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Jim Phillips, as always, great to have him here. This game started physical. That was 10 seconds into the match. But here we go. We had a 1-1 game. It was tight. It was physical. It was what we expected. We'll break it down more after the break. Who will be hoisting the ACC Men's Soccer Championship? We may be 45 minutes away.
There's a place where dreams meet determination, and every challenge is an opportunity for success. The ACC isn't just a conference. It's a way of life, where every victory is earned and every achievement forges our legacy. Together, we will show the world what we're made of.
It is just incredible.
And define greatness for generations to come. We are the ACC. Accomplish greatness.
Hey, Mom.
Mazda.
Mazda.
Mazda. The Mazda CX-5. It's made to move you.
The new Mazda CX-5, only $319 a month at Keffer Mazda.
Stop it. Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa. Vamos.
Hay comida en la casa. ¿Tienes hambre?
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try new Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Type 2 diabetes? Discover the Ozempic Trizone. Ozempic! I got the power of 3. I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
I'm under 7.
Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease.
I'm lowering my risk.
Adults lost up to 14 pounds.
I lost some weight.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
Welcome back to Cary, North Carolina, here at Wake Men's Soccer Park. Salem Stadium, 1-1 through the first 45 minutes in the ACC Men's Soccer Championship. Wake Forest fell behind, but came back and equalized against the 2-seed Clemson Tigers alongside Devin Kerr. I'm Dallin Cup. Game started physical, started chippy, but the goal started in the 20th minute by two defenders kind of connecting in the offensive.
It's a good ball by Ramsford-Jean to the near post, but it's a good ball because it makes you think about where the next one is going to come from. Give a ton of credit here to Adam Lindegaard. The way that he redirects this, it's not across the box, it's right at the goalkeeper. And Alphin pushed it to the backside, but you gotta follow your run on the mark. And they get the opening goal for Magnason. Second one, watch the goalkeeper at play once again. That hesitation right there. Trace Alphin comes off the line real quick, causes that slight pause at the 6, and Maynard questions himself. He wanted to open up his hips, he's not able to. Good save, they go back the other direction. This is actually coming off a 50-yard ball from Trace Alphin. Really clean on the first touch the other way. As they come to the interior, the back line starts to shift. Great job on that back post run. Just coming really high, really fast from Nico Rabiu to grab his first one of the year. As clean as you can be moving into the final third. An absolute clinic into the bottom corner. And 1-1 after 45 minutes of play.
It's everything you can want in a final. It was explosive, it was physical, it was intense. We had goals. Second 45 should be outstanding. The two winningest programs in the ACC conference over the last 10 years. The two of the three winningest programs in the nation over that same stretch are delivering for us on the national stage. We're going to break. When we come back, second half kick on the way.
There's a place where dreams meet determination, and every challenge is an opportunity for success. The ACC isn't just a conference, it's a way of life, where every victory is earned, and every achievement forges our legacy. Together, we will show the world what we're made of.
It is just incredible.
And define greatness for generations to come. We are the ACC. Accomplish greatness.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa.
Nothing feels as good as driving a new Hyundai. And now you can get a great deal on your favorite model at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Plus, every Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty. Hurry to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event before this offer ends. Make your next getaway your best one yet. Get 1.99% APR for 72 months on a Santa Fe or lease for only $289 a month during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
During the Infinity Once in a Wintertime event, seize the opportunity to drive away in the luxury SUV of your dreams at Lake Norman Infinity. Feel the exhilaration of owning your perfect Infinity today, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 72 months. Take advantage of unbeatable offers, including an exclusive $1,000 winter bonus on select Infinity purchases. Plus, every new Infinity purchase comes with Infinity Premium Care, which covers routine maintenance for up to 3 years. Your ideal Infinity awaits. Visit Lake Norman Infinity today.
What's on your mind, Dion?
My sensitive skin and how Old Spice Total Body isn't on it.
Gabby, is there anything you want to share?
Not this Old Spice deodorant. It's 24/7 freshness. It can go everywhere.
Everywhere.
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe. Ah.
Marshall's buyers travel far and wide to hustle the best deals on amazing holiday gifts. So you don't have to. We get the deals. You gift the good stuff.
Welcome back to Wake Med Soccer Park. Halftime coming to an end. 1-1 between Wake and Clemson. We have Wake Forest head coach Bobby Muse with us. Bobby, you guys really grew into the game, got the equalizer. What was the message at halftime to carry that momentum into the second 45?
Just limit silly mistakes, right? I mean, I thought we started the game really well. We were on the front foot. We were able to keep the ball a bit. A couple of one-touch turnovers, which we said is not allowed against Clemson in the way they transition, and obviously set pieces. So you got to be disappointed with the way we conceded, but we did grow back into the game. I'm happy we got the equalizer, and I thought we finished the half well.
Thanks a lot, Bobby. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
All right, Cooper Flax and his boys getting ready to go here. Michael Laverne is the center official. Devin Kerr, Dallin Cupway. The second half coming your way from Cary, North Carolina. couple more changes for Wake Forest. You see Paris Mitchell now pressing the ball. Joel Torbick in the game, the freshman from State College, Pennsylvania. And most notably, he'll come into the picture now, 2 orange. Lucas Magnason is back in the game. He was the goal scorer, the all-freshman team center back. Had an outstanding first half till he left about 30 minutes in with injury. They concede after that. He is back in the game. How critical is that for the Tigers?
It's massive in that they get him back on the back line. His communication is excellent. He controls everything, and it's smart, though. You know, they brought him off. It's precautionary, because lest we forget, certainly you want to get a result tonight. There's still another postseason for them that they have to make sure they're taking care of that big asset. So go in, run him through a couple of checks. They obviously say check complete, put him back onto the pitch, but it really gave balance on the back line in his absence. Wake Forest were able to grab one back.
Issei Yoshizawa now, 1v1 with Cooper Flax. Almost got end line. A goal kick, well defended by Flax. Second team all ACC player. Yoshizawa, the transfer from Virginia Tech. Born in Tokyo. On that Montverde Academy pipeline to Clemson. He had a little circuitous route, went to Virginia Tech first, but he found his way here to Mike Noonan. Antonio Luminato, the usual starter for Clemson, could not start this match, 17 orange, dealing with some injury, but he does start the second half. Meinhard dispossessed, no call. Monty Thomas now pressured by Wahabu Musa. Travis Smith now back at that center back spot where he started the match. He ended up playing out wide. There's Torbick, his first touch on the ball. Came into their quarterfinal game and really made an impact at SMU. There he just got a little fancy, turned it over in a bad spot. Lonnie Thomas, Jeff White, back to Jose Perez. Floats it forward to Cummins. Nicely brought down. There's Mitchell. Out to Thomas. And Musa, the stud freshman from Ghana, called for the foul. Musa had a huge impact in that semifinal game. Had a pretty big impact in this game, too. He's just all over the field in terms of his defensive pressure he's put on the ball.
He's just busy. You know, the way that they want to try and utilize him. They want his ability to go and challenge Prince Mponsa. He does a really good job of finding that gray area between that left-sided center back and the outside marking back. Oh, watch the way the midfield looks now, the way that they're going to release Yoshizawa and Rance Frangin. It's a lot more emphasis on Jean Joubert in the sixth because he's isolated by himself. Not much of that side-by-side as we saw in the first half. That's where you want your pocket presence at the 9.
White's pass a little bit between the two Wake offensive players, Cummins and Thomas. White has the assist on the game to Rabiu. Nice ball that released him for the goal. Colin Thomas wants to get on his left foot. Back to Torbick. Low ball driven in. Not the greatest clearance, but it might lead to a transitional opportunity here. Up to Musa. He can glide when he's on the run. There he goes. And good cover by Mponsa. Thomas finding Flax in a good bit of space. Torbick. Lonnie Thomas.
Pretty polite, deciding that they're not going to go as chaotic to start the second half. Appreciate it.
It was a wild first half. Great touch by Bo Cummins, releasing Thomas. Can he play it back to Cummins? He almost got there with that outside of the boot pass. Clemson team playing in their 5th ACC championship final in the last 6 years. Truly remarkable accomplishment in its own right. Many think this is a harder tournament than the NCAA tournament. Clemson's won 2 of those titles. In the ACC crown, they've also won 2 national championships in that same stretch.
There's only one other university that's had any sort of stretch like that. They've actually done it twice. They had 6 in a row, the Cavaliers, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then from 1990 until 1998, 8 straight conference title games, 6 championships, won 5 in a row, by the way. Someone say that's pretty good.
They've won, what, 4 national championships in a row as well. Nice move by Paris Mitchell. Oh, and then he cleans out Titus Sandy. Again, this game was really physical. There was only 1 card issued in the first half to Bassett Umar, 22, and Black, who's not on the pitch currently.
The referee hasn't really pulled out many cards, has he?
No. I mean, you could easily make the argument as you watch this. That's not necessarily yellow, I'm saying that, but the Amani Thomas challenge, 15 seconds in the match.
No question.
Was, I mean, in all honesty, if Wahaba Musa can't get his leg out of the way and it's a more gruesome tackle, that could have been a red.
A half a second on either side goes a lot different.
It was remarkable. 14 fouls in the match, 1 yellow to this point. Sandy's
there is something to be said for letting them play from a physical standpoint.
Sure.
But dangerous and physical,
2 different things.
That's not a fine line.
Yeah.
That's very easy to see the separation between the two.
And it's hard. It's a final. You don't want to give a guy a card literally 14 seconds in the match, but sometimes it precipitates that.
Well, you and I have discussions about that all the time. And, you know, if I say if you're going to call it in the 90th minute, you got to call it in the 9th, right? Vice versa.
There you go. I got you. I think everybody else got you, too. Brought down by Mitchell. Now Jabay, the midfield of the year, steps in front. Turned over there by Magnason. See if Meinhard can get there. No, he can't. Well done by Cummins. Pinged out to Colin Thomas. Heavy touch. Ultimately turned over. Ooh. Luminato called for the foul there. Got the transfer from Drexel. Got the ball there, but Michael Laverne disagreed. First team all-conference last year in the Colonial. So a number of the transfers that have come here to Clemson are all league players in other leagues, but they want to come ply their trade here in the ACC. Nice job by Monty Thomas. Skipping past defenders. Still Thomas on it. Shoots it, goes off of the defender and out for a corner kick. First of the match for the Deeks.
Good run on the outside by Amani Thomas. Wake did a really good job with the 9 up top, dropping down in. Paris Mitchell, as he came, created 4. Yoshizawa has to rotate back over. That's why all the space on the outside opens up, and Thomas is able to step through it.
They took it quick. Torbeck to Flax. Flax trying to change the angle. Does get it off. Lundergaard heads it up, not out. And Cummins will come down with it. Good low cross, but then deflected out by Jabay. Eventually Clemson clears their lines. Trimble goes running for it. Thomas's pass knocked out. Cummins. Perez. Nice ball right over Yoshizawa's head. Shun defends well. And
what
Thomas.
a battle. I mean, that is... There's not many that get a better footstep than Ransford and Shun. Although Jeff White can't get around him on the second one, nor can Amani Thomas. Good recovery by the midfielder from Clemson.
Shun is an outstanding player, folks. He's 2-time National Player of the Year. That's never been done when he was at St. Benedict's Prep in New Jersey. Freshman of the Year in this conference, second team All-League. And can produce moments of magic like he did in the semifinal that gave them the 3-2 W over the Cinderella Cal Bears.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway was actually didn't come for me until we talked to Mike Noonan yesterday. I said this to him in the moment, right? It's magical. There's the Maradona pirouette, drags it across the body, roofs it onto the far side, and he goes, he's processing that at a high speed in an ACC semifinal game on his non-preferred foot. And I was like, in the moment, you're taken back by just this magical move that this kid makes. And you go, and oh, by the way, that's his right foot. That's a left footer who everything dominates the left side for him. Such balance and grace with Clemson Tigers in their midfield.
And all the accolades he received this year really earned, but Mike Noonan also told us that he doesn't really care about any of that. He's all about the team winning, and you asked what's next for him, what's important to him. He said all he cares about is taking care of his mom in Ghana, whatever that means, and right now he's getting education and playing at a super high level. Paris Mitchell charges forward, trying to get past Okunlola, gets in the box, but then fouls Okunlola. How would you describe the first 10 minutes of this half we've seen so far?
I would say that it certainly benefits Wake.
Okay, that's right.
The tempo is a little bit slower. So they can get on the ball. They've been cleaner, certainly, in this second half compared to the first. And to me, it's about the rotation in the middle that they're getting, which is, A, providing them numbers central that they can play through, but also they're just much cleaner coming back to the outside. We've already seen it on the right and left. And so the Tigers having to do a lot of defending, and they're not allowing Jean Jubé, Rance Franjean, when Yoshizawa comes in, they're not allowing three really good technical players to be on the ball. So not the same balance we saw in the first half.
As Jubé heads it down to Jean in a little bit of space there, back to Yoshizawa. Still Yoshizawa, he'll shoot it wide. It does deflect out for a corner.
That's what you want to see, and here's why. It's pretty much a 4 now. When you bring Antonio Illuminato in, it gives you the flexibility. It gives you the flexibility to go from that outside marking back on the left side, pops up into the midfield, but still provides you coverage. But if he's playing deep, no longer do they have those wing backs that are coming high and aggressive, so there's a lot more space. That means you have to go win your individual battle, like a Yoshizawa, or you're going to need support. And right now, it's just a lot of one-on-ones.
In swinging ball, Alphin gets a hand on it, goes out the 5th corner of the match for the Tigers. And first in the nation in corners per game, just over 7.3.
Taking the corner kick for Clemson, number 20, Ransford Jean.
In swinging ball. And Alphin to take the goal kick. And Ponce along. Jubé again with a header. They win the second ball again to Musa. John back to Jubé.
Hear the shout from Mike Noonan. Width. He's saying width, Alex, width. They don't have enough presence on the outside with that change.
That's like a pick by Meinhardt. He's holding 2 Demon Deacons. They get the cross off, but it goes out and will be out for a goal kick. Ball back in play. Meinhardt was on the deck. He's slow to get up. Jubé is 6 in orange toward the right side of your screen in a second here. He was midfielder of the year in this conference, first team all-league, first team player of the year in the Pac-12 with his Oregon State previously too. How does he have more of an impact on this game? I feel like we've said his name or seen him lessening in a match in recent memory.
Well, good news for Clemson in the first half is that they were able to get to the front line quickly. So excellent distribution from the back three. Lundegaard, Magnason, ball just popping off their feet, right? That makes it easier on the midfield in the sense of, well, it's 2 attackers, they're forward facing, they can be aggressive going forward. So the midfield was just bringing up the rear as a secondary option. Now, and I alluded to it a second ago, I said with all the movement within the midfield, Jean Jubé, he's got problems because up top in the 9, Paris Mitchell's coming in. So he's got to be cognizant of that mark. Over his left shoulder right now, right at the center circle, just there. You got Cooper Flax who's rotating through. There's just more bodies, means more rotation, more communication, and defensively, he's just having to work a lot harder, which is why he's not on the ball as much.
Nice job by Lundergaard.
You reestablish yourself on the outside, which is what Mike Noonan was just asking for a second ago. We've talked about it's a heartbeat.
Yep.
Wake starts to come back out, more space centrally, Jabay on the ball more.
Meinhard's last touch took it long, and it'll go out for a goal kick. Quick restart again by Alphin. Thomas just kind of walks by Jun.
Good move.
White in some space. Leaves it for Torbeck. Big deflection. That kid is technically talented, the freshman. He wound up from distance. That would have been probably asked Patrick Donovan to make a big save there, but
I recognize the fact that he's coming high, but he's running to his right. It's coming off the left foot, trying to bring it back across his body. From a momentum sake, this is just so difficult positionally. Does a good job at the tail end of it. Watch him square his hips. That allows himself to come back through, strike it clean. There's a little bit of rotation on it. But the way that Patrick Donovan had shifted so quickly to the near post, there was a ton of space available on the far side.
Torbeck now to take the corner as well. Curled in, almost got through to Bo Cummins. Ponce tries to bring it down. Titus Sandy, who just checked in the match, took out Misei Yoshizawa. And if you're tuning into college soccer, you've done it throughout the course of this year. Once you sub in the second half, you are done. So his day is over. Not for Musa, though. He is on the ball, striding forward. They are deadly in transition. Stuck in the corner now, though. Good tackle by Thomas. And ends up being Clemson ball. Thrown into Trimnell. Ponce comes right over the goal kick. Okay. As we go through a number of subs here, the two of the best coaches in the business. Look at Bobby Muse. Might do it in pregame. Little love, a little selfie. Okay.
Oh, Bobby's got an iPhone from the Stone Ages. That thing's
He's
tiny.
gonna love that.
That thing's tiny. We got to talk to him. We're in the modern times for modern men who's, when it comes to football analysis and how to go and exploit the opponent, hard to argue. Quality of consistency those gentlemen have not to the ACC, but the national platform.
Both of these coaches, no doubt about it. We've already mentioned it.
Can we get him to take one at the end of the game too?
I don't know if we're going to get one at the end of the game, but getting one before was surprising and very cool. I like that our guys, our great crew, caught that. And again, Wake Forest, since Bobby took over 10 years ago, #1 in the nation in wins, 150. Clemson is third, at 140. Separated by Indiana in the middle. Obviously top 2 in the ACC. Wake's won 2 ACC men's tournament championships in that time. Clemson's won 2. Clemson's won 2 national titles. That's a great ball, though. White's on his horse. Can he keep it in play? He does. Magnason picks off the cross, and now maybe an opportunity going the other way for the Orange. Okanlolo looking for help. And stays with the Tigers. That'll be a foul, and Jun draws one, and what can be a dangerous area to serve the ball into the box here. And Clemson scored from a set piece on a corner kick in the 20th minute through Lucas Magnason. Wake Forest equalized in the 38th through Nico Rabiu. Michael Laverne coming to have a couple words with some of the guys in the middle of the box there. Captain Adam Lundergaard.
Trimmel and Amani Thomas making friends.
Jean to take. The ball played in. And now for another corner. 6th of the match.
Taking the corner flick for Clemson, number 6, Jerron Jardine.
Stay with the in-swinger. Head it up, can Alphin keep it in? He does. Maybe looking to spark a counter? No, he'll hold it. Thomas. Looking long for Julian Kennedy in the channel. Magnason wins that race. Kennedy maintains possession with the pressure. Kennedy on it. Coming off a game with a goal and an assist in the semifinal against UVA, 21 in black. Also created another goal by generating a penalty. Cooper Flax buried as Bo Cummins cuts inside. Still low. Cleared. Travis Smith asking a lot of Ampansa. Monty Thomas keeps it in.
It's interesting the way that Clemson have set up right now. You know, we've referenced Antonio Illuminato a couple of times and the versatility that he gives you at the left back spot. He's also having to do a lot of work off the ball right now. I mean, they drop into this for Remy Okunlola on that far side with Titus Sandy coming in. It just leaves sort of this left midfielder position kind of vacant, to be honest. They're playing high on the right. They're trying to attack the left and push them back. Makes it easier on Dylan Borso, but it also makes it a bit more predictable in their build because it overbalances that fluctuation on that right-hand flank. You know, can you release Meinhardt a little bit quick? Can you get Illuminato up high like this? Yeah. Start to occupy some of that space.
Illuminato 17 in orange in the middle of your screen. John gets it wide to Meinhardt, who keeps it in play. Yes, he does. Wake Forest bench doesn't like it, but he's got the ball, and flag stayed down. Low ball, played to Jean. Back out to Musa. Whoa, crafty whatever he was trying to do with the outside of his boot there. Musa. Jabay. Meinhardt. Up to Musa.
That's a tackle right there.
Just great tackle.
Yeah,
Thomas.
A lot of times down, we'll go through games and we talk about tactical breakdowns and where teams are doing well, where teams are doing bad. There are also stretches like that, and we saw it a lot in the semifinal games too, of just incredible defending.
Yeah.
You know, recognizing the moment. Certainly two center backs and Lundegaard and Magnason did well for themselves in that conversation.
Borso tried the reverse pass, didn't connect. Nice back heel by Jean to release Meinhardt. Jabay to Musa. Illuminato on it. Meinhardt ahead of the channel, plays him. Perez now singled up with him. Trimnell in a lot of space. He lost his plant foot, and Alphin will corral. I'll tell you about Monday Night Football. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman got you covered from AT&T Stadium in Dallas for Week 11 Monday Night Football matchup. Lone Star State battle between C.J. Stroud and the Texans, taking on CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN. ESPN Deportes, and of course you get Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. They're joined by Bill Belichick and J.J. Watt. Star-studded affair for Monday Night Football in the AFC South leading Texans. Magnason back to Patrick Donovan. Blast it long. Jabbay's able to bring it down on his chest. Wanted Okunlola to run. He didn't want to run. "75% of Wake's goals this season have been in the second half. This team has been a second half team. Also been a team that's able to come back. They conceded now first, as they did in this match, now 12 times on the year. The previous 11, they won 4 of those games. They drew 4 of them. They only dropped 3 of them. See if they can complete an amazing comeback, and particularly against Clemson. Mike Duna's teams do not relinquish leads very often. They are 154, 13, and 13 when scoring first. One of those losses is in an ACC final, though. Umar, he's got Borso. He doesn't play him. And then he does once Illuminato recovers.
He doesn't play it quick enough, but credit to the pressure by Magnason on the back shoulder.
Could be going the other way. Jun, his pass to Musa was off. Coming a little more transitional here, last couple minutes.
That was quite the ball coming right through the midfield, though. Much better rotation between Nesto Perez and Cooper Flax. Flax playing a little bit deeper. The same sort of tendency.
When obviously we were sitting up here. It's easy for me to stand here and say that, but why not release Borso? Yeah, no, it's shocking, I know. Why not release Borso early? Why take that extra 2 touches?
What's gotten them in trouble all game long. Take the first touch, head up, and to be honest, Alan, that's also one, as clean as that ball was, if you peek over your shoulder and see it, he had the positioning to hit that into space first time. Yeah. I don't mind the first touch. It's the second and the third and the fourth, right? It allows Clemson to converge on the initial opportunity that was put through. Again, both managers' biggest concerns over the course of the day. There's another great ball.
Flags out of the midfield. Flag stays down. Big cross. Kennedy couldn't bring down the bobbling ball.
Didn't we just say, though, Flax, right? He's 5 yards off the back line, and that's a guy who primarily operates off the shoulder of a Bassett Umar when Kennedy comes in. And if you're a central midfielder for the Clemson Tigers, you just had a guy who over the last 10 minutes is sitting right around the center circle, trying to control these movements, coming to side, and then a 40-yard run to get in behind. When he hit this, I'm thinking, he just overhit that big time? No. It was absolutely where he wanted to put it on Julian Kennedy, just missing a bit of quality on the tail end of it.
Illuminato to Gian. Back come Clemson here. Jabbay on the ball. Gian pings it out wide to Okunlola. Musa. As we tick under 18 minutes, Liam O'Gara comes in the match. Number 6 in black will trade out with Amani Thomas. That moves Travis Smith Jr. out wide left. Now, this ACC RPI ranking, look at the top 20 in the RPI. What's interesting about this is, to me, Clemson being 14 is a little mind-boggling to me. The eye test versus, it's a joke. The eye test versus the metric. Because to me, if they win this game, for them not to get a top 4 seed seems crazy, and maybe the committee will still do that. But Wake went from, down by 30 to start this tournament, now up to 12. They've progressed so far. Pitt has struggled. They've won only 2 of their last 6 games. They remain at 2. So as you look at where things stand, do you think either one of these teams can get a top 4 seed, and why that matters in the national tournament? Hold on a second as Meinhard's on the ball. He cuts it back to that right foot, pulls it wide. Why that matters, folks, top 16 seed, you get a bye in the NCAA tournament, the 40-18 field. Top 4, you get that bye, but also you can hold home field, if you will, all the way to coming back here for the semifinal.
And this move, I should say, from Alex Meinhard, very similar to what we saw in the opening goal against Cal, right, on that near post run. For people to sit and say, it's not just us talking or the coaches, but even outside of the ACC conference, for most everybody to say that they believe the ACC is the toughest conference in college soccer and to not award the champion a top 4. That's an interesting one. Wow. We'll put it that way. Whether it is Wake or Clemson, great tackle.
Nice tackle. And this is the thing, too. You have a situation where the RPI, I have a lot of questions with it, particularly this year. I found it quite fascinating. But the conference RPI is still #1 for the league. So to your point, it's not just people think and say.
Yeah.
Their own metrics
The numbers speak for themselves. And also, how it not just affects the top 4 seeding down, but also understand that with all the results that are in games, I should say, that end up in results around the country, it affects the top 16.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It's North Carolina, it's SMU, it's the weight of what should be for them, and getting one of those seeded positions in home field games. There's a good chance how things play out. They're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Now, mind you, it all depends on the conference title games, but I would be frustrated if I was either one of these coaches if I won the game and was not in a top 4. Given the way that the numbers have played out in the past 2 weeks, it wouldn't be shocking to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
Exactly.
But it wouldn't be shocking to me.
So Triminal takes the yellow card here as he pulls down Borso. Now, again, these aren't in a vacuum, to your point. We've got other leagues going on. The Sun Belt Championship, WVU taking on Marshall is a big game in terms of who wins that, and that's currently 0-0 in the 32nd minute. Also, the Big East is important. You know, Providence and Georgetown 1-1 in the 71st minute. If Georgetown wins, you believe they have a resume that the committee would appreciate.
Yeah, they've got the #1 strength of schedule in the country, and a win for them would get them into a top 4. But that's one of those games that I talk about. If it doesn't go the route for Georgetown and Providence gets a win, you're looking at a team at 20 coming into today. And again, this is a living thing. That a result for them, they're in the top 16.
Kennedy, big touch, gets a shot off, save Donovan! Just like he did in the Cal match, they were equal in that game. And this keeper that's been in the stead for Joseph Van Dama since the Virginia Tech game has stepped up and made another big save to keep it equal.
You removed the opening 5 minutes for Julian Kennedy against Cal, and again, the weather had a lot to play with that, but he has been so clean on the ball. Watch the first touch right there. Just beautiful body positioning. He allows it to drift across, uses the weight, then drops that shoulder. Sends Sharon Chabet, #1 midfielder in the ACC, pack in the other direction. And if not for a great save by Patrick Donovan, gets the go-ahead.
Flax to take the corner. Floating, swinging ball. Headed down, not loose though. Not out though, I should say. Here, Nachian flicks it forward. A couple subs came in. Ryan Fessler, 20 in black in the midfield, replaced Jose Perez, and now Cummins is able to get rid of that on the run. There's Nico Rabiu. He's back in the match, the goal scorer. Turnover in a bad spot, and he has to commit a foul, and he needed to because Musa was wide open with nobody around up into the right wing there. So that's a card well taken by Rabiu.
Necessary evil, unfortunately. Again, you know, the intensity that we saw at the beginning of the game starting to come back into the light for it. The Clemson Tigers didn't have the luxury. The ball 3 to 5 yards away from me. You want to keep it clean anyway, but as tight as everybody was in that opening 5 or 10 minutes, near impossible to get away with anything in this match.
Lundergaard to step over and put it back into play. Magnason making a run into midfield, wanting the pass, and we're still waiting. And Michael Laverne's telling the Kennedy to back up, give him the requisite 10 yards. They do now. This pass pulls Sandy Jr. wide. Flips it forward, gets to Triminal's chest. Triminal still on it. Playing it forward to Okunlola. Somehow finds a way back to Triminal again. And Okunlola loses possession. Borso.
Good touch.
He's got Rabiu wide open. And his pass was, we both saw it, got a little too excited.
Narrow, Nico Rabiu. But those are the
you wanted him wider?
Opponents. Yeah, you wanted him wider. You wanted him to keep coming up high. Those are the moments that they've really struggled with over the course of the match. Good recovery.
Nice pass, Kennedy! Saved Donovan again! And cleared! The junior from Westport, Connecticut, stepping up big.
The diagonal runs towards the tail end of 24 for Wake Forest have been so much better when they start to move through. Watch the way that Kennedy peels off. You know, pulls Magnason up just a little bit. Lundegaard had already tracked back up high. Clean ball by Rabiu. It's not the cleanest of finishes. He's got to put that low and away from the goalkeeper. The angle is so narrow, though. Almost impossible to push it by Patrick Donovan.
Flax outswinging ball toward the spot, and Lundegaard's clearance not what he wanted because it gave him another bite of the cherry. Quick taking corner this time to Umar. His corner deflected. Fessler's on it. Back to Rabiu. Cummins. Driven toward the feet of Borso. He can't control it. And his flag was up. He came back from an offside position. Women's basketball highlights our ESPN schedule this afternoon. Check out number 13 NC State squaring off against TCU, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Then we'll have the 24th annual WNBA draft lottery from Bristol. That NC State team went to the Final Four last year. Returns with great players there, but this is their first big test against TCU, so definitely want to check that out, 3 o'clock on ESPN, and then the draft lottery afterwards. The Sparks, the Wings, the Sky, and the Mystics have all qualified for that lottery. Who will get the #1 pick in next year's draft? Nice job by Travis Smith. Opening it up. He's got Borso to his left. Gets it to him. Freshman from Chicago. Gives it back to Fessler. This pass to Flax was offline, and that was almost a bad turnover. Umar skips past Jabay. Umar's dangerous on that left foot, leaves it for Flax! Into the breadbasket of Donovan. Wake knocking on the door.
He's got to let this run across his body, though. Cooper Flax, and I don't blame him for trying to get it on his right foot, but because he's closed off with the last-second nature of the way the ball comes to him, he doesn't have the ability to get the spin. He's trying to bring this back across to the far post as Patrick Donovan slides, but notice his positioning. He's too head-on with it. You come straight in. He's clean through it, but you can't get enough rotation to move it away from the goalkeeper.
Teams are kind of coming to the sidelines right now as Adam Lundegaard is struggling. He was struggling getting up. Now he's talking to Mike Laverne. So there's kind of been a break in the action. This is almost like a timeout right now.
So Bobby Muse said, no timeouts here.
Well, let's all get water. This is interesting. Yeah, as he's gotten up, I'm surprised we're not back into play. If he was still on the deck, that's different. There's been nobody to come out to provide treatment.
Certainly a gift of a break. Yeah. Very unnatural. And
again, it's beautiful out here. The sun is out, but it's 65 degrees. There's no hydration breaks in weather like this. So.
And again, he could be tired, and if something's wrong, and this isn't against Clemson or Wake, it's just the regulations. If something's wrong, you have to bring him off.
Yeah. But
there's no trainer for the ref to just stop the game and allow them to take a break. It's literally not allowed.
That was strange. Okay. That's our great stats guy, Freddie Kiger's got his arms out, looking incredulous. What's going on? I don't know, Freddie.
Got to get Freddie a mic.
We're back. We do need to get Freddie a mic. He would educate us all. Flicked out to Meinhard. Good pressure by Cummins. And it'll stay with the Deeks. Again, as we tick closer to 10 minutes left in the match, this is postseason play, so we will go into overtime if need be. It'll be a 10-minute overtime. If nobody scores a sudden victory, and Musa could be loose. He's got Meinhard to the left. Meinhard arriving. Can't finish it. Still, chance. Saved by Alphin. A kick save and a beauty. Jung gets it crossed up on his feet. Now Umar's got a chance to play Kennedy forward. Back come the Deeks. Kennedy. He goes down. No real appeal for a penalty. Lined up by Borso, deflected. Great hustle by Fessler, but Jung comes away with the ball. Fessler tries to clear him out, and Ponce gets the ball. The last 60 seconds have been crazy. Out to Rabiu, the goal scorer. Low cross played. Finds the feet of Borso all the way across the 18. Fessler. Liam O'Gara. O'Gara, just his second appearance on the season, coming back from injury, on the ball right now. In a big moment, to say the least, all freshman team last year. Played forward to Borso. A lot of options in the box. Nico Rabiu. And then just played off Clemson player. The Deeks will maintain possession as we change some subs here.
This is about Musa and just that initial flick on the far side. There's been a great balance between Okunlola and Titus Sandy Jr. that allows this one to come back across. That's about Ryan Fessler, though. Watch 20 close all of this down for Wake. That is a goal-saving tackle from the Demon Deacon. What an outstretched move that is. Makes the job by Trace Alphin a little bit easier. And by the way, not only does he make that tackle down here, 70-yard run to get down into the corner to help bring this attack coming forward for Wake Forest.
The senior from Charlotte, sporting KC Academy product. He has really stepped up in his 63rd appearance in his career. Now, Clemson making some changes. Okunlola slowly walking off the pitch. He's finally coming off now. He's being replaced by Galen Flynn, the redshirt junior. First time he's coming in the match. The transfer from Fordham and SLU after that, St. Louis. And now this ball, Donovan's going to get a call for a foul there on Kennedy. So you got Galen Flynn now in the game, making his first appearance with less than 9 minutes to go in a rather crazy game, especially the last 2 minutes. What do you make of the switch to take Okunlola out and what Mike Noonan is doing here?
Certainly they're tired, number one. Galen Flynn gives you the ability on the defensive side, right and left. He's really good at playing both sides. Now, the preferred is actually the left side for him, but the way that Antonio Illuminato is closing space down over here, there's no reason to remove him. Again, we've talked about the versatility of Illuminato, shifting 3-4, drop 5.
There's
movements
Illuminato
like that.
Right there.
He's just so clean on the ball. It's hard to take him out of it because he's so good in combination coming forward. That's a handball.
And Michael Laverne does call it. So
Flynn gets you higher, right? He gets you higher. He gets you fresh legs. And it's going to make Dylan Borso track a little bit more. One of the things that they've had, I talked about the unbalanced nature when they went high on the right for Clemson. Dylan Borso, because they've been so good defensively, they flatten out. He's been able to stay high, so you can play through him a little bit more, and they've really targeted that side.
All right, as we're close to 7 minutes again. If we go to overtime, it is the first 10-minute overtime period. Sudden victory. One goal ends the game. If we don't, we continue to the second period and then potentially penalties. But right now, Jean has a chance to serve the box here for the Tigers. Looking back post, floated high. Magnason goes up, can't bring it down. Illuminato through the back of Umar, and that'll be the foul called. And Umar is slow to get up. Alphin tries to restart the play, and Michael Laverne's going to bring it back.
Well, they're wondering if he needs a change. I think he took this one across the head. Basit Umar just moving towards it. Illuminato up over the back. He's up and moving though. And the argument is from Mike Noonan is that he played the ball, but you have to come straight up. You can't come over the shoulder. And unfortunately for Illuminato, it is the right decision by the referee.
Gara back to Mpansa. Getting tight here in the ACC Men's Soccer Championship. 1-1. Both teams looking for a goal that could help them hoist the trophy. Clemson would be defending their title. Nobody has done that in this league since Wake did it in 16 and 17. It's also coincidentally the last time Wake has won this title back in 2017. Bo Cummins on the ball. To Flax. Back to Cummins. Umar leaves it for Flax. This pass picked off, though, by Flynn. Then looking for Musa. Well done to bring it down. Jean. Good ball out to Meinhard. James Kelly in the back post. Musa coming short. Meinhard driven across. Wow.
The problem is Kelly was just a little bit late because of the move that you got. Wahubu Musa You know, you watch the top of the 18 as Musa came back in. He's over the back shoulder. He's actually going to drop a little bit deep. And so Kelly slows his run, and now he has to go explode. You know, he expected Musa to keep going there. That would have been the run to the near post that Alex Meinhardt was trying to pick out. Good sequence there, though.
Probably Musa's upset because his guys turned it over within seconds of getting that throw. Just gave it right back to Clemson. We're under 5 minutes now. Jerron Jabay riding the challenge. Musa just gliding around, as we said. He'll give a shot from distance. Wide. All right, take a breath, everybody. ACC Network women's volleyball matchup, so big, we're promoting it already. #1 Pitt takes on #3 Louisville with the ACC regular season title and the #1 seed in the nation on the line. Coverage begins next Wednesday, November 27th. November 27th, mark your calendar, at 7 Eastern. Last time these teams played, just a couple weeks ago, Pitt prevailed in an epic 5-setter, so November 27th, mark your calendars. And Ponce steps forward as we glide under 4 minutes left from Cary, North Carolina in the final. Kennedy, it's not the pass he wanted. Jabay, nice touch to Jean. Brings it down nicely, back to Jabay. Out to Meinhardt, wide again. He's got O'Gara singled up on him, looking for some help from Kennedy, the striker coming back. Gets end line, shot! Wide. Why are they having so much success getting Meinhardt out wide right now in these situations?
Well, again, it comes back to Antonio Illuminato. He's just coming higher. He's doing a much better job releasing on the left, and it's enabling them to still create balance within this three. You know, there's no question whatsoever that Lundegaard, Magnason,
and then down goes Rabiu. He's down holding his face, but they're going to play on. He's up now. Illuminato on it. Back to Meinhardt. 3 minutes left in regulation. Kelly, nice ball, leaves it for Musa. Still Musa. Out wide to Flynn. They've got bodies in the box. Clips it in. Kelly's there! Couldn't get ahead on Musa though. Right there. Blocked again. Jabay. Illuminato lining up. Gianna's on it though. Back heel deflected. Might give the Deeks a chance to breathe. Maybe. Great job by Borso to come back and get it. Out to Rabiu. Can he head it forward to Kennedy? He does! Kennedy gets it forward. He's got another chance. Heavy touch. Donovan off the line to get it. Oh, wow. End to end. Again, end of regulation, do not leave. We are going to overtime. If we are still tied for sudden victory, next goal wins. 2 10-minute periods if needed, penalties after that. And an ACC championship title awaits. The 2 of the most storied programs in college soccer. Cooper Flax wants to end in regulation. Bassett Umar on the ball. Cummins. Fessler. Cummins. Back to O'Gara. To Flax. Musa tracks back, dispossesses him, and Flynn just boots it deep. O'Gara will come back and head it back to Alphin, excuse me. I thought Flynn was gonna be able to pass that and maybe create a transition, but he just booted it. Driven ball looking for Borso. Can't keep it in. Under 60 seconds to play in regulation.
In the second half.
Flynn's not in a rush to get this back into play. Under 40. Under 30 now. Man, it has been, at moments of this game, have taken our breath away in the last 10 minutes, have done that consistently end to end, but barring a miracle, we get more of this game, and I'm here for it, Devin.
Yeah, once you walk down there and tell the players who've been running back and forth for 90 minutes.
Again,
that
very easy for me to stand up here.
Go a little bit deeper.
And last year, this Clemson team did just that. They had to go to extra time. They had to go to penalties to beat UNC and hoist that ACC tournament championship crown en route to the national championship crown later on. Thoughts on the 90?
Clemson's having to defend a lot. They're frustrated with their positioning. There's a lot of communication of anger, to be honest, that guys aren't really taking the opportunities that are given to them because the marks are there and they're just not following. Wake Forest has done a much better job creating consistent build. They've got good balance on the width. But how many times have we seen them 35, 40 yards out, and that decision just isn't there? Julian Kennedy had a couple, right? Saw it on the right side from Nico Rabiu. I like the aggression through the midfield, though. Ryan Fessler's addition has been a revelation for their attacking unit going forward and really giving them a lot of good looks up top.
They've had a lot of good looks. Patrick Donovan's made 4 saves and at big moments. So that's where we stand. 1-1 after 90. Back with overtime after this from Kerry.
Different dogs have different needs, like skin and coat.
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
So?
Mazda?
Mazda.
Mazda.
The Mazda CX-30. It's made to move you.
New Mazda CX-30, just $239 per month at Keffer Mazda.
During the Infiniti Once in a Wintertime event, seize the opportunity to drive away in the luxury SUV of your dreams at Lake Norman Infiniti. Feel the exhilaration of owning your perfect Infiniti today, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 72 months. Take advantage of unbeatable offers, including an exclusive $1,000 winter bonus on select Infiniti purchases. Plus, every new Infiniti purchase comes with Infiniti Premium Care, which covers routine maintenance for up to 3 years. Your ideal Infiniti awaits. Visit Lake Norman Infiniti today.
Time out, time out, time out, time out, time out!
Listen up, get tight.
This is the most important timeout I've ever called.
Things are getting out of control out there, and we need to regroup.
Hate.
Hate.
Hate is winning out there.
Not on these fields.
In our communities.
On our streets.
In our schools.
And we need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
To change the momentum.
and call a timeout.
On hate. Together.
Together.
That's what I want, yeah.
Never get enough, that's what I want, yeah. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Dame, yeah. Never get enough, that's what I want, yeah.
Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
Your business made limitless. That's Life Unlimited.
We'll never reach our dreams without chasing them down first.
Introducing the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks.
Welcome back to Cary, North Carolina. You're watching the ACC on ESPN, the ACC Men's Soccer Championship Final here. 1-1 at the end of 90. We are heading into overtime between Wake Forest and the Clemson Tigers. It's been a thrilling game from the absolute kickoff, physical, intense as you expect for a final. Let's show you the goals in terms of how we got here. And first it was a defender off a corner where Clemson generates more than anybody in the nation. Lucas Magnason putting it up 1-0 20 minutes in.
And the other center back, brethren, Adam Lundegaard, is the one who creates it. Ransford Jean gets the redirection to Adam Lundegaard, who's just trying to put this on frame here. He does such a good job of forcing Trace Alphin into a save. Doesn't get any weak side support on the back post defending. Magnason puts him out and in front. Now, this was just a magical sequence from Wake Forest. Long ball to one side, ball then comes central. You get the rotational piece up high from Nico Rabiu. Lindegaard couldn't get there quick enough, and his first touch right there to set himself up. You can go near post, you can go far post. He chooses the latter. Demon Deacons equalize.
First career goal for Nico Rabiu. What a time for that redshirt sophomore. And there are more chances here. But Ryan Fessler, huge returning recovery.
This is much of how the game feels it's going to go the rest of the way, unless we see a change, and that's wide open spaces for Clemson to step into. They've gotten away from being on the ball, trying to work with it. Instead, they're spending so much energy defending that most of them are 1, 2, maybe 3 players in transition. But because Wake's playing the game really high, that space is there for them to step into.
Got to credit Patrick Donovan, too. He made a couple saves, big ones, particularly on Julian Kennedy, to keep this thing in a 1-1 game and to overtime. So here are your rules. We've got 2 10-minute periods. Sudden victory, golden goal, as it's known maybe more globally. Next goal wins, essentially. If we go goalless through the first 10, we'll stop. We'll turn the teams around. We'll do another 10 minutes. And if we still are deadlocked, we go to penalties. You cannot re-enter the match in terms of substitutions in either period. And we'll see how the coaches handle this. Again, this is their... Because of being all 15 teams in the conference now, only one team got a bye. That was Pitt. So both these teams, now this is their 4th match in just over 2 weeks. At this level, and this intensity, very challenging and taxing on the body as we head into this extra frame. Mason Jimenez has come on the pitch for Clemson. Sophomore from San Diego is back in the game. He played in most of the first half. He replaced Galen Flynn. Titus Sandy back in the game as well. And here we go. Bo Cummins stepping forward in some space. It's the first time Clemson has not played with a more traditional striker. Either it be Trimnell or Kelly, not in the match. Stepping forward, Thomas, he's got an angle. Deflected down, Cooper Flax on it now. Corso. Gachabeda hit the deck to try to block a shot. Out wide to Colin Thomas, Bo Cummins. Jose Perez. Umar.
But defensively, it gives them a bit more coverage centrally. We talked about all those numbers for Wake Forest, how good they've been on the ball. Mason Jimenez comes in. And so you start to stabilize on either side. More importantly, you're trying to release Ransford Gent, come a little bit higher. And they've struggled with a presence, whether it was James Kelly or Tyler Trimnell. A lot of conversation on the sideline. Good direction from Mike Noonan to the nines, and just never really materialized into anything.
Kennedy. Leaves it for Amani Thomas, back to Kennedy. Perez. O'Gara. Cummins. Taking the space in the middle of the pitch. Leaves it for Umar. Try to get it back to Cummins, the defender, the collision, and it'll be a foul on it. What would you prefer he did there?
You hate to have the same saying over and over, right? But there's just so much space on the outside. You know, as you push yourself back in, Dylan Borso is cheating a little bit high over Titus Sandy. Don't force the momentum. Just let it continue to the far side of the field. You play it in front of them. That allows standing footwear, the one that you're sitting on, to push it forward and attacking the space. Again, it just, you make the back line shift to you as opposed to trying to change based upon how they're set up to you, right? Make them chase you instead of the other way around.
And Ponce back to Alphin. Clemson is yet to play in a penalty shootout if we find our way there this postseason. Wake advanced past SMU in the quarterfinals in that fashion. Gian ushers it on to Illuminato, to Meinhard. Back to Lundegaard. Illuminato's Goes touch heavy, can't control. He's going to win that race, and then he'll ping it out wide. Okunlola up to Musa. Ponce wants a flag up for offside, not going to happen. His touch showed too much of the ball to Ponce. Borso, same thing the other way with Lundergaard. Contact there, they're not going to call any foul, but Tigers maintain possession. Plays up in the channel. Jung's going to win the race there, and then O'Gara takes it out. Next goal wins here. Clemson and Wake Forest from Cary, North Carolina. Sudden victory now instituted in men's college soccer. An ACC championship hangs in the balance. Musa plays it forward. Okunlola, nice ball. He's able to cut it back. Jimenez is there, gets a piece of it. Just over the bar. The sophomore from San Diego almost delivered.
Just watch how good this is, though, from Wahubu Musa, number 7, as he comes down in. You know, he's got himself square, so he's trying to lure the defender with him. He actually gets 2 to come off of it, and then just the way that he contorts his body. Right speed, right on the ball. Well read on the outside from Remy Okunlola. See, this is the difference. If you remove that high target 9, you still need someone to be active there. So when Ransford Jung comes out, or if he's too deep, that's now got to be on Alex Meinhardt or Musa. That's perfect from the 2 guys up top.
Jabay heads it. Chion heads it forward, but O'Gara then pops it over to Cummins. Good ball by Cummins. Colin Thomas in behind. The lefty plays it across! And Kennedy couldn't get a foot on it. Oh, wow. Julian Kennedy, who had a monster game in the semifinal. Thomas does a great job of putting it over there, just could not get anything on it.
I thought Colin Thomas had actually lost his window here. He's got a ton of space, but as he takes this touch here, notice there's no one in the picture to be able to get it there, but credit to the speed. Julian Kennedy to explode and try and get in behind. His step, though, with his right foot, he's got to reach back with his left.
Let me correct that. It was out of his reach, not that he couldn't get a touch on.
Yeah, I mean, but understand, though, that's one of the ones where, I promise you, if that moment, 10 minutes into the game, even the start of the second half, there are secondary and third levels of runners coming for Wake Forest. Those are tired legs having trouble getting on the end of the ball in this game.
Meinhardt on it. Back to Jimenez. He's got Jabay in space. Jabay will hit that. And it'll be wide. He wants that one back. He's upset at himself, the midfielder of the year in the conference. Because that was a moment that he could have had etched in history.
A bit of credit, though, you know, recognizing that it's been a long game. It's emotional, certainly has been physical. And yet, the moment from Clemson a second ago, certainly what we just saw from Wake, that's their identity. I mean, that's everything that you get in terms of success out of these teams over the course of the season. It's great to see it continuing on, even though the level of exhaustion just continues to rise.
Yeah, nobody's waiting this thing out for penalties. These guys are playing, trying to get this win. Umar spins out of some trouble. Lays it to Borso. Borso leaves it for Umar. Back to Borso. Flips it in, headed out. Oh, O'Gara almost dispossessed at a terrible time. Kennedy. Goalkeeper. Under 2:30 left in this first overtime. There are no goals. We go to a second 10-minute overtime. There have been chances already. Can somebody capitalize? Clemson looking for their 6th ACC tournament championship. Wake looking for their 4th. First since 2017, if they can get it. Headed down and off an arm, so it's turned over. Ponce sprays it out to Cummins. Back to O'Gara. Flaxen behind, Jimenez tracks the run. Jimenez scoops it up, and he's on the run. Back to Okunlola. He's riding the challenge. Can't quite get it to Jean. Jimenez on it. 30 seconds left. Musa. They have one more chance in store before we end this first overtime period. Lundegaard, the senior captain, stepping forward. He's a lefty. He'll hit it! Oh! Oh, man! The captain almost delivered the championship.
You're just sitting here in slow motion. Just step up to him, step up to him. And Adam Lundegaard took it upon himself to try and end this thing.
Vincent Company-esque. It was close, but it did not go. And Wake will let that ball sit on the goal line and end the first overtime period. We had 10 more minutes coming up. What were your thoughts of those 10?
It's certainly nervy. I mean, you can tell that people don't want to make a mistake. I would say that, you know, if you're Wake, they seemed more comfortable within themselves and willing to take more chances. But then if you're the Clemson Tigers, defensively, you're thinking, okay, I want to keep the game in front of us, and we'll just take that moment when it pokes its head out. The hesitancy within that makes me a little nervous for Clemson. But then again, it only takes that 1 second, whether it's Lundegaard off the back line, certainly what we've seen out of Musa on the far side. You know, the best that this team is taking the game by the horns and really chasing it. They've backed off a little bit, but certainly have still been able to create chances.
Let's take a look at the two best chances in that period there. Both teams had a chance to end this game and win the ACC Men's Soccer Championship. Colin Thomas gets it behind and just could not quite connect with Julian Kennedy.
Credit, by the way, on the backside here, because the way that the back line slides over, when Magnason comes, that's all about Titus Sandy Jr. getting a presence on that back shoulder of Julian Kennedy. And then they did have the one movement to Jimenez. Weren't able to get anything on it. And then Lundegaard says, you know what? You guys aren't willing up there to help me out a little bit. Let me see what I can do, and just catch a little bit off to push it away from Trace Alphin.
Mike Noonan coaching up his guys in the break here. Now, we talked about this early in the game. Let's bring it back here, because Carolina, last year they played Carolina in this game. It got to Pens. They won that. These guys went on to win a national championship as well. You look at that roster right now, the guys sitting on the bench, there are 6 of them. They were part of those games last year. How much does experience in this moment matter of these last 10 minutes and potentially penalties?
So go back to what I just said about kind of the way they were letting the game come to them, and defensively they're just staying here. They're also not forcing the issue, right? If you don't have the target 9 and you can't play through them, okay, so you have to change a little bit. Maybe you have to sit deeper. Maybe it is only going to be 1 or 2 more opportunities coming forward. But that veteran leadership back there is going, hey, we're in this. We've seen this before. One of the biggest conversations that we've had with both of these coaches is the stoicism and how good these guys are in special moments throughout the course of the season because of the injuries, because of the red cards that they've gotten from their captain, Adam Lundegaard, because of the lack of goals from the 9 for Wake Forest, and yet still found a way to get success. Stay calm, carry a very similar equilibrium that you have towards the end of the season to get you to the final game, and that moment will come. Who's going to be the one that's willing to take it?
We'll find out here. Second overtime about to begin, and that Wake Forest team, yes, these guys have not been to this moment before, but they've acquitted themselves quite well, and you are missing a lot of upperclassmen veterans from this Wake team. They have 5 different players injured that would probably be starters on this team. And a lot of them have been injured for most of the season, and they've made it to this point and continue to have a chance now to win an ACC men's soccer championship and continue their dreams moving forward in the NCAA tournament. Teams flip sides. We get her ready to begin again. You've seen both keepers make huge saves. Trace Alphin had a huge kick save earlier late in the second half and kept the goal out. So Patrick Donovan has made 4 saves, a number of them on 1v1 situations. The keepers have stood tall. The players have given us quite a scene here today in Cary, North Carolina. Will they finish it in 11v11 fashion, or will it be from the spot? We will find out in the next 10 minutes. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff. Lucas Magnason, the goal scorer, plays it out wide to Remy Okunlola. Looking for Musa Tumachana. Alphin to take the goal kick, switching sides. Ahead of Jimenez, he fires it back to Alphin. Hansa struggling with the pressure. Is that nerves? Is that?
No, that was the wrong ball. Trace Alphin shouldn't have played it to him. Keeper should have come out long there. And instead, the center backs turned around, and really good communication from the sideline by Clemson to go and pressure. They're saying, go. Those are those triggers we were talking about before, when to go and chase.
Illuminato on the return pass was offside, so gives the ball back to the Deeks. All right, a little pressure, back to Alphin. Under 8 minutes to go. We'll be going to penalties in consecutive years in the ACC Men's Soccer Championship. Clemson winning last year against Carolina 5-3. A couple of guys on this field took pens in that shootout. We'll get to that briefly if we get there. Yeah, the Wake Forest staff saying, go.
Well, it's interesting, the changes having both Cummins and Amani Thomas on the same side together.
And now that's turned over and a heavy touch by Travis Smith. Okunlola busting it. Musa now cuts inside, plays Okunlola. Jean in the box, he's got numbers there, play it back, and it's just north of the goal from Jean. Oh, hands on his head, the freshman of the year.
And let's be really clear, the proximity to the goal and the goalkeeper, the pace at which this ball's coming back across, this is very difficult to take down, but that's also the expectation of what you get out of the freshman of the year. Just so clean over the course of the season that is almost automatic in nature usually. Not often that you see a moment like that pushed aside by Ransford Jean.
Wow.
Great ball though. And once again, Musa on this far side, just coming in clean as can be, opening up the right fake for Clemson.
Could have given, he had the game-winning goal against Cal on that very goal just a couple nights ago in astounding fashion. But could not keep that one down and hit the target. So just over 7 minutes to go. down. Kennedy wins the second ball. He's crowded out nicely by Magnason, and Illuminato just plays it out to touch. O'Gara looking for the big switch to Borso. Too much on it. Luka tries to turn, saying he got pulled back. No call. Perez has to cycle back out. Flax. Borso. Borso loses his footing. Luka again now a chance to stride forward, loses possession. Down wide to Travis Smith. Kennedy.
It's a good hold-up play.
Smith. Kennedy dummies it to Umar, back to Kennedy. No, what a touch by Magnason. I thought he got a piece of it. Whoa. Magnason now stays down on the deck. Very awkward stretch he had to make to get back in that play.
Well, if you're Bassett Umar, the way that you just sit off the backside, and notice him, Jean Gervais just doesn't track him. Kennedy recognizes he's got the help. Love that peek over the shoulder from their target man, and he probably didn't necessarily know as to whether or not he was going to be able to get on the end of this because of Bassett Umar's chance to take it with his left foot.
That was a pretty clean look by Kennedy. I thought Magnason got a touch to distract him, but in the end, here's Musa now, 1v4. Jun's laying on the deck as Musa continues forward. Guys are laboring, to say the least, and Okunlola goes off of him last. We're under 4 minutes and 40 seconds here. Next goal wins the ACC Men's Soccer Championship. This is the second overtime. There is no goal in the next 4:30. Pens await. Borso's pass forces Cummins back. Meinhardt will press. Deflected off Meinhardt, out for a throw.
Cooper, second ball. Oh, you can hold it.
Right over the top to Borso. Tried to cut it back. 1v1 with Titus Sandy. The lead for Smith. Back to Perez. We're under 3:30.
How deep this back line at Clemson has so much space in the midfield to operate through.
Kennedy spins. He's got a chance. Can he finish this time? What a recovery by Lundergaard. Jeez. The captain coming through with maybe a championship-saving tackle.
Julian Kennedy wondering what he's got to do to try and find a way to get the game winner, and he's going to have to think again. Adam Lundergaard, that is unreal defending. Both he and Magnason almost unplayable this afternoon.
O'Gara. Whoa.
And just recognize how much ground Adam Lundergaard has to cover. You've got a center back in Magnason. He's struggling. He's tired. He doesn't get over fast enough. And even as the whole back line starts to shift, he's got to come about 20 yards to get back over and win that tackle.
So Wabu Musa is going to sit down. Tyler Trimnell comes in, more of your standard central striker. Remy Okunlola comes out for Galen Flynn, who's now back in the match as well.
And this is also about Mike Noonan posturing for penalties.
running, trying to get onto it. Meinhardt almost flicks it onto him. Jimenez knocks it down to Jean. Cleared out past Illuminato and out for a throw. Lucas Magnason, you see him in the middle of your screen too. The goal scorer, the freshman from Iceland. Fantastic season. And this game, he was all over the place. But he is physically seems like he's struggling at this point in time. Can they make it through the final two? Can they get a breakthrough? We'll see. We are under 2 minutes to go. Meinhardt in space. Crowded out now by Thomas. Magnason. Trimmer was able to kind of keep it in place and get a foot on it. Jimenez can't do much.
I'd say if they can move to that far side, Amani Thomas, if he can commit to coming higher. I really like the relationship he and Bo Cummins have, but they just haven't moved it quick enough. You've got speed on that outside. Bassett Umar comes. You know, they've got the presence and the 9 coming back in. They just haven't been able to quickly find him in transition on the far side.
We're under 60 from Pens. Do we have a late drama? Magnason battling with Kennedy. He wins the battle there. Gets it to Jabay. Jabay just blasts it up the field. And Ponce gets it to Smith. O'Gara looking long, doesn't get over to Umar. It does. Donovan State doesn't come off his line. Umar's got a chance. Amani Thomas forward. He digs out a cross. Magnason is there. Woo. 17 seconds. The clock will not stop. The Deeks are pouring forward. They got to get the ball in the box. The countdown is about to begin. Do we have a buzzer beater coming? Headed down. Pop back in the mixer. Borso can't bring it down. Penalties. Oh, wait. I feel like we've been out of breath since we started 110 minutes ago, Devin Kerr. Your thoughts?
From the first whistle, you were reaching for electrolytes, my friend. Those young men down there have put on quite the display today. We've seen a little bit of everything, certainly the emotional momentum swings, the physical side that dominated the early portion of this game has really opened up to the tactical sessions back and forth from both managers, trying to make changes. Wake a lot cleaner on the ball. Clemson going back to the identity that won them a national title last year that was a bit more end-to-end, open field of play, producing chances. And yet, with all of the shots and all of the opportunities, neither one have been able to break this deadlock.
Penalties await. It'll be decided from the spot. Wake Forest did this just 2 rounds ago against SMU. Patrick Donovan has never been in the net in this moment for the Tigers. Will he prevail? We find out.
You may not know where you stand with today's youth, but you always know where you stand with the Sport Clips app haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time. It's a game changer.
Walmart Black Friday deals are live. It's time to shop. Get this 50-inch Hisense TV for $138. This Fisher-Price toddler toy for just $5. And so many more deals you desire. Shop Walmart Black Friday deals now through the 17th.
Stop it. Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa. Vamos.
Hay comida en la casa. ¿Tienes hambre?
Hey, Mom.
Mazda.
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 The Mazda CX-5. It's made to move you.
The new Mazda CX-5, only $319 a month at Keffer Mazda.
Work out and perk out with the Planet Fitness Black Card. Join today for $1 down, $29.99 a month.
Smartsheet helps propel McLaren Formula One cars to the starting line.
We don't focus on results, we focus on what leads to results. With Smartsheet supporting our operations, the results will come.
Gifts that say I get you. Etsy has it.
Introducing Tasties. They're not just starters. They're party starters. Tasties. Feed the fun.
The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with Dunkin's legendary coffee, a toasty, melty bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and a crispy, crumbly order of hash browns. It's kind of the biggest deal in breakfast. The $6 meal deal, available now.
Welcome back to Cary, North Carolina, as we get set for penalties, and those keepers remain, central figures. Trace Alphin on the left, two-time second-team All-ACC keeper. Patrick Donovan, who just has taken the #1 gloves due to Joseph Van Damo's unfortunate injury late in the year. Can they both make big saves? We will find out. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff. Here's how we got here, folks. It was a drama-filled game from the very first kickoff. It was intense. The first goal, we got Luka Magnason 20 minutes in.
Wake Forest were actually the better team in the opening 10-minute window, we'll say, but then they stormed back, started to reestablish themselves up high. Great ball whipped in, and a Lundegaard on the flick through, and then the freshman on the backside, his second of the year. But we certainly did not lack for the dramatics. One of the best sequences you'll see in postseason within this ACC tournament. One end to the other. 6 different players from Wake Forest touching the ball. 3 different sectors on the field. Most importantly, the final third for Rabiu, who finishes it off, and back to 1-1. Now, let's move ourselves into OT and double OT, because plenty of chances here. Everything was absolutely perfect. It was crystal clear that the game winner was on the doorstep for Reims-Regien, until it wasn't. Just leans a bit back too much on the end of it. Tired legs, steers it up over the top. Julian Kennedy, this looks a lot more difficult, by the way, in person than it does on that video right there. The spin on the ball, it's coming back across his shoulder. He's got pressure on the right side. Julian Kennedy can't get on the end of it. Again, just a ton of opportunities, and a beautiful testament to the quality of play that you can get out of the ACC between the Clemson Tigers and Wake Forest Demon Deacons today.
Well, that was last year. This Clemson team was in the very same spot, beating North Carolina 5-3 in pens. Jerron Jabay and Alex Meinhardt both took pens in that match. They are both first-team All-League players. Jabay is a midfield of the year. I imagine they both are taking pens here today. As you mentioned before, Wake Forest advanced on penalties against SMU in the quarterfinals of this tournament. Cooper Flack started them off with the penalty scored against SMU. He made 2 in the semifinals from this penalty spot from 12 yards out. Can he start him on the right foot? He does. 1-0 Deeks. Give some love to Trace Alphin, their goalkeeper, who again in that SMU shootout actually didn't make a save. 2 Mustangs missed the target.
Hard to ask for a better start than Cooper Flax. Beautifully taken, just opens himself up. Strikes right through it on that far side of the field. It was a real good look at Patrick Donovan just before going to break. He definitely did his homework. He was through the notebook, looking at everybody's tendencies, but that's the thing about Cooper Flax. He doesn't have one.
Mason Jimenez to take, sophomore, first penalty of his career for the Tigers. Alphin guessed right, but he put enough on it.
It's just a little bit slow here, Trace Alphin. Still a very difficult penalty to read. A short run up. Notice how much he comes back across his body, but certainly plenty of power there for Jimenez.
Mason Sullivan to take. This young man did not play in this game. The same thing happened at SMU. He stepped up and buried his pen to send him through. He does it again. The freshman got ice in his veins from West Roxbury, Mass.
And they utilized him at the tail end of the semifinal match against Virginia. That left foot of his, certainly not an issue. It's not the best of penalties, but it's really low, and as hard as he hits it, the goalkeeper, when he goes to jump, coming back down, oh, so difficult.
That's his first touch of the day. Like, I always blows my mind when you come in cold and you can deliver like that.
It's also, it gives you an idea of how much Bobby Muse trusts him, though, at such a young age.
All right, Ransford Gion, your freshman of the year in the conference, second team all-league player. Game-winning goal against UVA that was an absolute beauty. But can he score from the spot to keep this thing tied at 2? Oh.
Again, back-to-back Gatorade High School National Player of the Year. It's the only time the award has ever been won twice. He did it consecutively. Just so stoic in nature, midfielder from the Clemson Tigers. Not really much that phases him. It's a good representation of what that foot of his is capable of.
Ryan Bilal took a pen in that SMU shootout, the second pen of the match. Buried it after he had a goal in regulation. Who's like? The freshman standing tall.
And Bobby Muse says that although maybe they don't have all of the statistics up top in the 9, he is their out-and-out natural finisher, Ryan Bilal. The cleanest of the bunch. And well taken. Notice he's just a little bit off center, holds the goalkeeper. Comes high. He's got some really good penalties.
They are. You can't fault the keepers.
Untouchable.
Yeah, they haven't been able to touch the ball, but that's because the penalties have been great. Jean Jabay, midfield of the year. He took a penalty in this situation last year. Can he deliver again? The captain. Buckets.
And notice how far Trace Alphin's almost down the tunnel here. He slows down his run so much. That is, again, we're seeing such a variety of how to go and attack this. But it's really fun to watch, right? We've seen him roofed, placed, hit with absolute power. And then that time, that's a tempo penalty from one of the best in the business in the ACC.
Bassett Umar. He also was successful in his attempt against SMU. Not here! Donovan does it!
He read it, Patrick Donovan. Notice he takes one step and then slows immediately. Umar's trying to come back across him. He sees the goalkeeper leaving early, but Donovan that good. Unreal how he's able to stop his momentum and then hold up to come back across. He wanted full extension, he didn't need it. Excellent save.
Titus Sandy Jr. now strolling to the spot. The grad student from Charlotte, North Carolina can give them the advantage. Oh! Off the bar! Back to even we are.
That's game of inches, right? And the one we saw just a second ago from Bassett Umar. A little bit more the other direction and it's in. Same thing here for Titus Sandy Jr. Hits what is almost a top quality penalty, but this is the risk that you run. You go high, your body hands that have a little bit more power and pull across it.
Liam O'Gara. Oh, the sophomore only his second game back from injury. Slots to the right. Now Alex Meinhardt jogs to the spot. Good finish by O'Gara. Meinhardt, who's been here before in the NCAA tournament, in the ACC tournament. Can he keep this thing alive? Can he keep the Tigers' hopes of repeating alive? Oh, ice in his face.
Easy, easy, son. I don't tell him that that was the most influential of the bunch so far. Just as clean as he could be. Trace Alphin had him leaning the other way, knew the right footer. How good he is about the cutback. We saw it against Cal in the open run of play. Have a seat.
Dylan Borso now a freshman. This will be the third out of the 6 kick takers for Wake Forest that'll be freshman. He was an all-freshman team member out of Chicago. His brother Wyatt plays for Notre Dame. Been injured all year. Can the younger Borso put Wake one step closer to an ACC championship? Yes, he can. Patrick Donovan now jogs out. Take a look at the placement by Borso. He jogs out to give the ball. To number 13, Matthew Brick, redshirt freshman from Oviedo, Florida, has not played in this game. The lefty with the short run-up has to convert. He does.
Not only has he not played in this game, he's only got one appearance all season long, and this is my favorite way to take a penalty. The way that you close down at the tail end of things. Just watch him cut it so hard. It's so difficult for a goalkeeper to read where you're trying to go.
Paris Mitchell now on the spot. Now the freshman attacker. Ajax Canada started about half the matches this year. Top corner, you ain't doing anything about that. Back and forth we go. What a finish by Paris Mitchell. And now Adam Lundergaard, who's had an amazing career, an amazing game. He made a tackle that even got us to this point. If he doesn't make that slide tackle, it could have been over in overtime. He needs to convert to continue the drama. And he does. Wow. 6-6. One miss each for each team. And you have to match your opponent now as we've gone past the best of five.
Same way that Brick hit it, though. Notice, plant that right foot in, come back across. Yeah, same thing for a right footer, but the reason being is you keep yourself open to be able to come direct onto it into the far side, and the last minute, you close it down.
Jose Perez now to take. He did take the fourth penalty against SMU, but now he's in this situation with Donovan in goal. Stutter steps, got Donovan the wrong way. Just so comfortable in that attempt. Samir Dishnika, a redshirt freshman from Cheshire, Connecticut. Again, rarely used, has not played in this game, and what a moment. With all the pressure, you hear the Wake Forest bench yelling, Trace, end this thing. Can Alphin make a save? Can Dishnika finish? He can't! He slips on the spot! Injuries, adversity! It didn't matter. All year, Bobby New said we grinded. They have grinded their way to an ACC championship.